So if you're not on the camera, I'm just going to say hello to people who are on the camera. Kevin and Marcy, good to see you, Kevin and Marcy. And who else? Is it Tamasha's? Yeah, put it in the chat box there. And where are you from, buddy? That's good.
I put in the chat box already. It's actually Thomas.
Hi, Thomas. Good to see you. Change it, man. Change it. Change your number. Change your name so that we all know. And Pastor, good to see you. Frederick, good to see you, Frederick. And Veronica, you must be working. That's why you have your mask on, I believe. That's awesome. And I see a lot of you are there as well. And so far we have 79 people. Welcome to the Millionaire Mastermind. And if you've never been to some of these ones, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. Please write down all your questions that you may have that you need me to answer today. This is your opportunity about entrepreneurship, business, real estate, money, cash flow, anything, any questions that you have, you put it and just have that ready to go. So then I'm going to help you with that today. So I still see people keep coming in. There's a lot of people in the waiting list. So let's let them in. That's awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about how to take advantage of the big upcoming possible crash, how to buy properties, no money down, how to generate $100,000 part-time with Private Investment Club, how to get access to $1 million now, and how to become a PIC millionaire during COVID. And lastly, most importantly, how to plurk with PIC or with me starting now. How do we plurk? And plurking, once again, was playing and making money at the same time. Most people on the planet are either plurking or making money or neither. And so I suppose if you're not loving what you do and you're not making money, that's probably not the best spot to be in. I suppose if you're loving what you do and you don't make any money, and that's okay with you, then that's okay too. And if it's okay with you to not do things that you love and you're making money, and that's okay with you, then that's okay too. But plurking is all about, why don't we have it all? Why don't we have it both? You know, why don't we have the fun and the money at the same time? So that's what plurking is. And that's really what I want you guys to have. Now, I want to tell you that I don't know what happened yesterday. I must have had so many emails that said that, hey, we tried to send in the application for PIC, and we tried to put try to win one-on-one, and it just wouldn't allow them to be in there. So if my team can put the links for the membership and links for the one-on-one, we can start right now, so you guys have that. And it has happened in the past where everybody's kind of doing it at the same time, but I don't know why it didn't allow even afterwards. So you have that link, and then I want you to be able to use that. So for back all of you who are members, mentees, VIPs, guests, welcome back, of course, to this. So plurking list, I want you all to have a plurking list. What that means is right now, plurking list means why am I on the spotlight or no? I don't even know if I'm on the spotlight.
Yeah, you are. We can see you on the speakers.
You can see me in speaker view? Okay, so it's my. So if you have a list right now, if you have a digital book or a paper, if you don't have it, please bring it with you or go get it right now. Because the idea here is today, you're going to have some plurking ideas. You're going to have some ideas that how do I plurk right now with people here. with some of the members, with Sunil, with Pick, or with my friends, with some of my millionaires and multimillionaires, you may get some aha moments. You may get, oh, I want to do that, or I would love to do that, or oh my God, I got some, some intuition to do something like that. What you could do is just make a list every time you get an aha moment today. So one of the things you do right now, pretend that you have paid me a huge amount of money, not just little money to be here. And you paid a huge amount of money to be mentored. And for the next 2.5 hours or whatever time we have together, I'm your mentor. And there are a lot of stuff that you're going to do sometimes that you may not want to do, or you wanted to do, but you just didn't do it, or you think you should do it, or you think you should not do it. But one thing that you should do today is that the best thing for us to grow is by using our ears, by listening. And today, we're going to be, when I'm speaking, today my role is to teach you, be your mentor, and your role is to receive all the wisdom or some of the successes that I had. And as you get those aha moments, do not allow them to run away from you. Do not allow it for it to disappear. I want you to make a note of it immediately today. If it's one thing or 50 things, but just keep writing. Another thing's going to happen is this. You're going to say something like, oh, but I can't do that, or that's too expensive, or it's too hard, or whatever the idea comes in. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about whether you can do it. But what if I said to you that you had all the resources, you had all the connections, you had all the money, you had all the friendships and relationships that you need? What would you do with that? That's how you write your how am I going to clerk moving forward. That's how you write it. So for example, when I bought my first multi-million-dollar project, real estate project, I had no money. I mean, I had money, but I didn't have that much money to spend, $10 million on a project. So in that case, the idea would have been, okay, let me just take care of the idea, step one, to make sure it's a good deal. And then I'm going to go into step two to find the money. And I kept saying to myself over and over and over, how do I raise the money? How do I get that $10 million? How do I get $5 million? How do I do this? And the answer kept coming back, sometimes in my mind, oh, you can't do it, or it's not going to come. And I just ignored that answer. And I just kept going with, how do I do this? And how do I make this happen? So today, since you are going to be investing approximately 2.5 hours with me, I want you to get the best out of it and think about it like you paid me a huge amount of money. The first thing I would do is just write down some of these things, right? So we're gonna get a piece of paper. We're gonna get a notebook. We're gonna get a digital book. We're gonna get something in front of us right now, and I want you to have a clerking, to do, to commit thing right now. So if you don't have it, go get it now. Don't wait and just go get that. Some of you want to be speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, have those membership sites that we talked about, have all these things that we talked about yesterday to make that happen. So we're going to, throughout the day, throughout this 2.5 hour time that we have together, we're going to actually make the list of your aha moments, list of what I want. What if you were 8-year-old kid and you wanted something, you want to go to Disneyland? That's the mindset you should have right now, is that I want it, not if I'm going to get it or not. How do I get it? That's the important part. And then you're going to come up with the ideas, connections, people, money, resources, how-tos, and it's right here. And if it's not right here today, you have access to it. But the point here is writing it down, because thinking is the most valuable thing you can do on planet as an entrepreneur, as a human being. That's what separates us from some other, species and some other, let's say, animals. I want you to know that if you don't do this step, it's going to be very limited benefit, because after this, after 2.5 hours, you're not going to have anything with you to review. You're not going to have anything to record your aha moments. So you start recording your aha moments. So let's start with your aha moment list right now, and then I'm going to go through the subjects that we talked about. So first thing, if you want to do this and you just write 1 word, 2 words, whatever it is, you don't have to write a whole essay. Okay. So my question to you is this. Some people came to me yesterday and said, I want to duplicate your success. I want to be like you. Right. And not everybody should be like me, because maybe you don't want to be a speaker. Maybe you don't want to be a trainer. Maybe you don't want to be traveling all over the world. Maybe you're an introvert and you want to stay like that. So you don't have to do it like that. But how do we duplicate some of your success, or how do we go beyond your success, Anil? And so one of the things that I'm going to say to you is that, Mike, I'm going to ask you a question. And if the answer is no, don't write it. If the answer is yes, write it. If the answer is no, don't write it. If the answer is yes, I would love to have that, or at least I would like to try it. Even if you're scared, then just put it in. So my number one question is, do you want to be a real estate millionaire, full or part-time? Yes or no? So if the answer is yes, put down real estate millionaire. If the answer is no, don't put it down. And by the way, this is not that you have already started. It could be something you want to do in future. So I'm your mentor right now. I'm helping you focus right now completely. So do you want to be a real estate millionaire, whether you have started already or you want to do it in the future, whether you want to do it full-time or part-time? You can put that in there too, full-time or part-time, because maybe you have a job that you love. And so, or maybe you have a business and you want to do real estate business on the side. Okay. So do you want to be a real estate millionaire or multi-millionaire, full or part-time? So if the answer is yes, put down real estate millionaire, full or part-time. Number 2, do you want to be an entrepreneur in addition to, or keeping real estate on the side? Do you want to be an entrepreneur where either you want to have a membership site? We talked about that yesterday. You want to have a digital coaching business or in-person coaching business where you still will see people face-to-face. So digital or in-person coaching business. If the answer is yes, put down coaching business, successful coaching business. You can call it mentoring. You can call it consulting, but write one of those things down right now if you want to become really wealthy in that area. Number 3, so we had the membership. Number 3 was a coaching business, if that's what you want to do. And number 4 is that, do you envision yourself being on a stage? Do you envision yourself in front of 10 people, 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people? If the answer is yes, that you want to be a speaker, write it down right now. I want to be a speaker. Yes. And I can see some of your heads moving while I'm talking. So I know that that's something that you want to do. Okay. Be an 8-year-old kid saying, I want it. I want to do that. And then we'll figure out how to do it after. Right now, I just want you to write what you want. So there's what, and then there's the how. So we're dealing with what right now. So if you want to be a speaker, now, if you want to be a speaker on a smaller scale, put it down. I want to train up to 50 people or 100 people. If you want to mimic what I've been able to do, like sharing stages with Tony Robbins and Grant Cardone of the world, and some of the other amazing people, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Robert Allen, Kevin Harrington, some of the amazing people that I've been able to go in front of and grow my business. If you envision that, write down, that's what you want. So you want to be that. Do you want to have a successful, do you want to become a successful author? Because the great thing about writing a book is that you write it once, even if it takes you a year to write it. You write a book once, and it's if you set it up properly, it generates or develop your business to massive level. So if you want to become a top international best-selling author or whatever you want to be, whether it's Amazon, whether it's New York, whether it's Wall Street, whether it's Toronto, whether it's Canada. It does. The point is, do you want to do that? So the answer is yes. Put it in there. Do you envision being in a place where you're sitting there, your book just got launched, and people are lined up to get your autograph for your book? If that's something you envision, then that's what you want to do. But I don't want you to write a book because it makes you feel good. I mean, okay, if you want to, that's playing, right? But not clerking. So we're going to stay with clerking. Clerking is that you're going to do this book writing thing, and you're going to become best-selling author, and you're going to make money. That is the important part. Because one thing is for sure, if you look at 99% of the book writing programs and authorships and all that stuff, they miss the most important part about writing a book. 99% of them will focus on, you start writing book this way, you design a book like this way, you do a table of content, and then you write a book and all that stuff. How do you make money from it? How do you monetize it? Like that, unless you go to like high-end $100,000 masterminds, and if $25,000, $50,000 mastermind, they touch upon this kind of stuff. But one thing what most 99% authors do after all the hard work, they end up selling up to 50 books, maybe 100 books in their lifetime. It's a crime. It's a crime for us to write a book and only 50 people get it. You should be able to envision 10,000, 100,000, million, whatever number. Maybe start with step one. Okay, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 25,000 people, 100,000 people. And if you do all this work, if I do all this work and I do invest my time, energy, money, and all that kind of stuff, and I give this to 50 people or sell it to 50 people, it's a crime. Don't do it. Well, if you just want to play and not make money, then I understand you do it. But otherwise, so if you envision yourself a best-selling author who is successful, who is well-known, who is rich, then that's what you write down, that you want to be successful best-selling author. Monetizing is the most important word in business. Tell me a business where monetization is not important, okay? It's the most important part about having a business. If your business will not grow, you're not going to have money for marketing. You're not going to have money to do joint ventures with center of influences. You're not going to have money to attract leaders, and you're not going to have money to attract and build your list. So marketing costs money. That's just the businesses cost money, just the way it is. So I want you to be able to understand that that's very important. Monetization model is very, very important. The next is, if you wanted to, let's say, produce an event with me, like my friend Angelo is producing an event with me with Grant Cardone and Kevin Hart at the Roy Thompson Hall. And, you say, you know what, I love to do that. Doesn't matter where you're in the country, where you're in the world, actually. You want to do that. You want to do it with me? You want to do it with somebody else? No problem. Just write down, I want to do that with Sunil, or I want to do it with so-and-so. If you want to write a book with me personally, only maybe not even a chapter book, but you want to write a book with me, like you and I write a book, and then I use my resources, my connections, my lists, my marketing skills to sell our, thousands of books. Maybe you want to do that partnership where you want to do that. Maybe you want to do it with me and just Robert Allen or Brian Tracy, just three of us. Maybe you want to maybe you just want to write a chapter like this one. Maybe you want to write your own book, but you want me to publish your book. Publishing a book would mean that I'm going to give you access to the most important part, the marketing, the buying of the books, the selling of the books, right? That's an important part. So if that's what you want to do with me, that's one thing you can do. If you want to do joint ventures with me, partnerships with me, I should say. If you want to, do real estate with Peg, you want to do that kind of stuff, and your goal is to find good deals and do that, write that down. If you want to be on my stage, like, if you want to be a speaker, like I can get you to become the top international speaker like that. I've helped people I've started them, whether you look at some of the successful people for the last 10 years, one thing that there's common in the most of them, they're speakers, they're authors. And you will see a lot of them have become wealthy in real estate and other businesses like coaching, mentoring, consulting, because they didn't know how to get on stages, and they didn't know once they get on the stage how to deliver their presentation and how to then monetize that by helping people in different ways. They didn't know how to do that. So I've changed people's lives like that. You can do that yourself. So point here is this. Some of you are like, I don't want to be a speaker. Good. What do you want to do? And then focus on that. And then you say, I would love to be able to partner up with Sunil or his team, or, someday maybe, what I envisioned several years ago. I envisioned that Brian Tracy, that Jack Canfield, that Robert Allen, that Kevin Harrington will send my offer to their list. I want to repeat that. People will say, well, I don't know how to grow if I don't have the... How much did it cost me to have Kevin Harrington send out a list, email to his entire thousands of people? Zero. How much did it do with Robert Allen? Zero. Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield? Zero. Because it's relationships. So what did that do? It grew my, influence. It grew my list, and it grew like that. So maybe you dream something like that to be able to do that. Now you can write the names, like, hey, I want to do, business with Sunil. I want to do business with Jack. I want to do business with Kevin Harrington. I want to do whatever, Grant Card, whatever do you want to do it. Even if you believe you can't do it right now, or you don't know how to do it right now, you believe it, you can do it, but you don't know how to do it. Doesn't matter right now. So now I'm setting up a stage, your focus. I'm making you think bigger than you may be thinking. Maybe you're thinking, I just want to be a real estate investor, Sunil. I don't want to be on. I understand that. But I can tell you this, that if I had to restart my business, let's say there was a 2022 and COVID had, demolished our entire economy for whatever reason, we had to restart. I would do two things. I would write books and I would go on stages. It's as simple as that. My business wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have multi-million-dollar businesses if I did not do those two things. Now, I want to clear something out for you. If you're not ethical, if people are not ethical, and if people don't do the right thing, and if people don't have the right intentions, all of this stuff won't work. So I'm already assuming that you're a good person. I'm already assuming that you have a good heart. I'm already assuming that you're going to make some mistakes. I've made some mistakes. People are going to make mistakes. So I already assume that. But when I talk about this stuff, it basically is a way. Now, let's say over, 200,000 copies of my books have been distributed all over the world. And let's say out of that, 190,000 people didn't do business with me. But what did I do? I added huge value to 190,000 people on the planet. And maybe down the road, by just reading the book, it changed their life. And they probably live in a country where they just couldn't afford it or whatever it is. And that book just changed their life. Your intention has to be that. Your intention has to be that if I'm going to get $1 million, I'm going to give minimum $2 million back to the world. And that's what the beautiful thing about this and being a public speaker is. Now, public speaker, let's talk about that right now. Public speaking could be speaking just like I do. Public speaking could be you being on an expert panel. So there's 10 people, and then the person asks you a question and everybody kind of answer that. So that some people say that's easier for them because then, it's somebody asking them a question. It could be a one-on-one expert on the stage or 1-on-10 people like we had. I've done it with Jack Canfield. I've done it with Kevin Harrington. I brought people to the expert panels too, if they had some successes as well. So some people say that's what's good for them. Next one is like you being interviewed, basically, questions and answers back and forth. That could be also, you could actually go on the stage Sir Richard Branson, for example, doesn't like to speak. He just says, if you're going to get me, you're going to pay this much money, and you're just going to have to ask me questions, and I'll answer the questions. That's it. And then Gary Vee does half and half sometimes. He does presentations, and then he does half and half of quick Q&As. So you can just do all Q&A if you want. Then you have the YouTubes, and then you have the audiobooks that you record. Then you have the written, if you're shy, if you're really, really shy, then it could be the newsletters. It could be the newsletter that you send out every monthly or bi-weekly that has value. So everybody can do it. But if you're shy and you say you can't do it, well, I have to say to you that you can. Because until I left the police force 16 years ago, I thought I did not have that in me. I'm 53 this year. I'm going to turn 53 this year. And so that would have meant that I would have been 37 when I left the police force. 37, yes, 37. So up to the age of 37, maybe 38, because the first year I wasn't confident about that stuff, I did not know I was a public speaker. I just thought, in fact, I was terrified. So there's a hope for everybody here if you want to do that. And so if you don't want to be a speaker, then this is very, very, very powerful for you to grow your business. It's just the way it is. And you'll see a lot of members of Private Investment Club, a lot of successful people outside of Private Investment Club, they became authors. That's just the way it is. And that's what I would suggest that you do. So if you made your so these are the things that you write them down, and if you want to connect with somebody, let's say you meet somebody here, you say, I really want to build a relationship with so and so, or I want to do some business with Sunil. I want to build a deep relationship with them. I want to do something, or whatever you want to do. Write them down. Write the names down, because it's very, very important for you to do that. So let's get into next stuff. I wish you guys can see my screen. Maybe after a break, I'll see if I can make this happen. All right, so let's talk about the crash. I mean, we talked about it. So let me give you the disclaimer, because it's very important. A lot of people think that I'm giving them a crystal ball and it's going to happen. And yes, I am well connected. Yes, I know people on the inside. Yes, I know some of the people behind the scenes that I speak to tell me some stuff, right? And they are even closer to the action than I am, some of them. But none of them know the date. Like, don't ask me, is it going to be December 1st, 2021 when the crash will occur? It's not, it doesn't work that way. So first of all, do I think the crash will come? The answer is yes, I do believe crash will come. And the second question is, when will it come? We don't know. We just don't know. Third is like, what are the indicators and why hasn't it crashed? And it's basically one word: the government has manipulated beautifully to make this entire world the way it has become. So you have a big COVID-19 sort of pandemic, and yet market and everything and the business and stocks and real estate keeps going up. How it doesn't make sense. You're in a household and you're healthy. And when you're healthy, you're making $50,000. Then you get sick for 2 years, which is the economy getting sick. And all of a sudden, you're going to get paid double the amount. So I want you to think about that kind of stuff. So the answer to that is yes, that's coming. And I want you to know that that's a good news, not a bad news for the right people. Majority of the people, it's a bad news. It's a bad news for majority of the people. I want to tell you. Am I still on Spotlight, Cindy? Do you know? How about now? Guys, do you see me on Spotlight? Doug? Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, looks like it.
Thank you. So what do we do? What do you do right now if the crash is coming? By the way, anywhere in the world, even if you're not a real estate investor, even if you bought one property because of this mastermind, just one property, right, it could change everything. Some people can spend 10 years and not save $100, $200, $300,000. And then they bought one property and that property brought them the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, $1 million just because they just bought it right and kept it. So, but what should you be doing right now? Let's talk it up. First of all, let's line up real estate agents, wholesalers, people who have access to good deals, developers, and coaches or mentors or COI, center of influences. These are the people that you want to start building relationship now, because there's a FOMO right now from people saying, if I don't buy right now, then I'm going to lose out. Then what happens is bad time is that FOMO goes back to these people, the wholesalers, the developers, people who own properties, the house owners. They start getting scared that if they keep it, that they're going to start losing more money. So they come in the market and now they're willing to do business with you. So should you wait until that time or should you start doing it now? You know the answer. You should do it right now to make that happen. So that's one. Build a relationship, as Bob talked about it yesterday, with investors, with partners, with joint venture partners, with money partners, with down payment partners, people with money. Start making those connections and email lists and communication. Start going out with them if you can, virtually or in person. So if you are not in the country, we're meeting right now virtually. Is it as good as in person? No, but it's the next best thing. So start building that 10,000 years of deep relationships. And we talked about that yesterday, which is to break bread with the people that you want to get to know. And it's not about how much money you make first or how many clients you get first. In this case, it's how many friends or how many relationships you build first in the scenario. Now, if you want to send your book, for $20, you don't have to do all that stuff. That's fine. But if you want to go to the next level where you want investors, where you want their money, you want them to fund your deals, that's what you have to do. So build a relationship with investors, people with money, center of influences, business moguls, business celebrities, I should say. Study how to buy and sell properties creatively. Now, if you're a member, those of you who are members of Private Investment Club, and you have not studied this is the course that changed my life. I ended up buying 77 properties, paid $5,000, and this is the course. So I took his course, I condensed it, and we now all members get it. So this is in here, we have 50 ways to buy properties, no money down. And if you read this, you're going to have many aha moments, but I don't want you to be mastering 50 ways of doing it. Master 1, 2, 3 ways of doing it. So it is very important that you do the study now, not when the market crashes, and then you spend 6 months studying or 3 months studying or building relationships. This is very, very important and common sense, right? Study right now how to use the creativity to attract motivated sellers and to attract money. Okay. What else is that? Building relationship with center of influences. Now, I want to bring this back up again, a little bit more detail than yesterday. Center of influences are people who are, sometimes well-known. Sometimes they have access to your clients. Sometimes they have access to your investors. Sometimes they have access to your center of influences. They have access to other center of influences. They have the ability to take you and bring you up to the next level because of their net worth, because of their network, because of their success. They can do that. So connecting with center of influence, if you ask me what was one thing instrumental in the first year of buying and selling 77 properties, and it was this one thing, it was accidentally I figured out that if I was to connect with one center of influence who can then help me find the investors. So I only had to convince one person, not 50 people. And that one person then helped me get the 10 investors or 20 investors that I needed, even though I used the component of being on the stage or doing some sponsorships and things like that. But at the end of the day, the highest level was the center of influence that changed my life. So if you are doing your clerking thing, you got to figure out who's your center of influence. And you could have more than one, by the way, write their names down. And for me, center of influences were Robert Allen, Kevin Harrington, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy. And then later on, Tony Robbins was there already. Later on became Grant Cardone, Robin Sharma and all. And then my goal was, okay, how do I do business with them? Right? Not only do I want to read their books, but how do I do business with them? And so write down maybe 2 or 3, 4 or 5 right now. Write down center of influences. Maybe they're in this room right now that you saw yesterday or today. Maybe it's well-known people that you may have not even thought about, that you read their books, that you want to do business with. So just write down 2 or 3 names. All right. Make sure you write, please. Please write it. It is very important. And next day is this. People ask me, what's the most important aspect of becoming successful? And in Think and Grow Rich, they had studied 500 of the most successful people at that time. And then they asked those 500 people, what's one thing above all, above everything, that would differentiate a successful people versus non-successful people? And the answer, almost independent of each other, by successful people, was the ability to take action immediately. Now, I know you heard this before, right? I know you heard this before. And we do take action right away when we're comfortable, when we're thinking small. Like if I said, oh, should I buy this, bottled water? I'm thirsty. So yeah, okay, I should buy it right now. I'm thirsty right now. But when it comes to like investing or buying properties or investing into yourself, it's always, I'll do it some other day. So if I can't afford it is the biggest entrepreneurship virus. I can't afford it is the biggest virus for business owners. Then the second one would be, I'll do it some other day. I'll do it someday. That has to be it. I'll do it when I cross all the T's and I'll dot all the I's. That's when I'll do it. See, when I'm comfortable, that's when I'm going to do it. I don't feel comfortable right now. So that is the next thing if you want to take advantage of the upcoming crash, is that no, the time is of the essence all the time, but this one is even more so. So you're never going to be saying to yourself, I want that. And the next thought would be, I'll do it some other day. I want that. I'll do it some other day. Obviously, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you wanted to buy a shirt, I get it. I mean, you could still buy it on Amazon. But what I'm saying to you is that I realized whatever I'm saying, it's 99%. There's always going to be 1% exception. So people who are not successful, they will then bring out that 1% exception and show me that, hey, it may not work like that. But I want to tell you, the way to think is this: I need this yesterday. I need this yesterday. I got to do it now. And find excuses to do it rather than not do it. Okay, so next one, select an area, city, town, country that you actually want to invest. Do you do that when the market crash, or do you start looking at it now? Look at it right now. Look at maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 places. Say when the market crash. In fact, you could start investing now if it falls into 2 areas. One is the properties that you can buy, fix and flip immediately. And the other one is it's going to produce cash flow for you. So you still start buying right now, knowing that if market crashes and you're still getting positive cash flow, your heart's going to go, oh my God, I can't believe my property crashed by whatever percentage. And you're going to feel bad I want you to feel bad for like a minute and then say, I'm still getting cash flow and I'm going to go out and buy more. So you can go buy more. And so select an area right now. Now, think about what services in real estate, in business, in entrepreneurship are needed. And I touched upon that yesterday, but I'm going to share with you right now. Real estate, no questions. Within real estate, it could be rent to own, vendor take back, because people are just going to go here, take, I'll get you the sellers become your mortgagors. So sellers are the ones who are giving you the mortgage to buy their own property. Just imagine psychologically, logically, it doesn't make sense that somebody's going to sell me $100,000 house for $100,000 and give me $100,000 mortgage on their own property. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take over their deed, title, and I'm going to put the renters in, which they could do the renters in. And I'm going to pay them less a month than what the renter is going to give me. So I'm going to get positive cash flow. I didn't have to qualify at the bank, and the sellers are happy and you're happy. Why? One thing, emotions, fear. Why did last year a lot of people in Canada, United States run out and buy toilet papers? Or people were paying so much money for masks? Or people were paying, hoarding all the stuff. I'm not talking about food. They were, it's just fear. It's just fear. And so I want you to know when the crash occurs, the fear could be really, really, really bad for most people, majority of people. But I want you to remember this, that in 2008, 2009, when I lost everything, it was everybody telling me, stay away from real estate. We ended up buying and selling through our members, our partners, almost 800 to 900 houses. Just do the numbers. What if you just made 10,000 per house? That opportunity, perhaps even better, might be coming our ways, where people with $200,000 house come to you and say, here, I'll give it to you for $40,000. Please take my house. Because why? It's not cool to own a house anymore. It's not cool. The media is telling you, don't do it. Headlines are telling you, don't do it. Just like, what's happening in COVID right now. Every day is COVID, COVID, COVID. So people are, just talking about it's going to be real estate and market, and it's going to be, other areas of economy where you're going to be like, oh my God, I shouldn't be doing it. So what happens is regular people, what they do is they go, it's not cool to own a house. Therefore, I can't have a friend that I can have a conversation with to say I'm cool. And if you're not going to be cool, then, and there's fear and media is telling you to do something, then most people will just follow that. I want you to know at that time that if majority of the people are doing something, perhaps you can do the opposite. Even right now, say to yourself, what are the majority of people doing? And should I be lining up and buying properties above asking price or above valuations? Ask yourself that question. So now what is the risk if what if the market keeps going up? That's the risk. That's it. That's the risk. But when the market crashes, majority of the same people who bought a house for $1 million would be scared. They don't want the bank to take away their property, foreclose on them, and their credit go back, and they all that kind of stuff. They'd rather sell it to you for $700,000 or whatever amount, because at least they can save their credit. Or the banks will take their properties and then they will turn around and sell it to you for less than what they owe on the property. So if the bank's mortgage is, $500,000, let's say, and the person can't pay their mortgage, instead of making a deal with that person, they take their property away and then they turn around and sell it to investors. And when the market is crashing, most investors don't want to buy. There's going to be very few of us who are going to walk in to that auction, to that foreclosure, to that court, to whatever, and say, nah, I don't know if I want it, but maybe I want it, maybe I don't want it. And there's not going to be a lineup. Right now, there's lineups. There's not going to be lineups at that point. There should be a lineup at that point, but there usually isn't. So you can walk in and there's like 100, 200 properties, 1,000 properties, and there's 10 people. You can pick and choose what you want. And that's what happens because humans, soon as the fear factor comes in, that's what ends up happening. It's just the way it is. Okay. So the services that are needed as a last point are going to be helping people with their health, mental status, physical health, personal growth, money, business, losing weight, and just overall well-being, And what does that translate into? Exactly going back to the same thing: coaching, mentoring, memberships, training, being a speaker. You can change people's lives right now. But it's going to be even more important post-pandemically. Why? Because we think that a lot of people think that there is no impact collectively on people. Some people already know that there is. That is happening. So collectively, there's a big issue right now. And just like when people go for wars or we see something, like when I was a police officer, we see something that is traumatic. At that point, we're just like, no, we're fine. We're okay, whatever. And then we go through and do whatever we have to do and fight through it. And when the dust settled, that's when they should go for help. So there are going to be a lot of people who are going to need a lot of help. And it's not just physical, like medical fitness or medical health. It's going to be all the other things that you can do right now. Coaching, consulting, training, writing books where you can help people. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry that you can look forward to. And so what you do is you say to yourself, which one of those can I make my primary and which one can I make secondary? So a lot of people probably make real estate secondary. Some people will make real estate primary. And then some people will say, okay, I'll make money this way, and then I will grow financially by investing in real estate, because it's no good for you to make $1 million and put in the bank. It starts to lose money, right? So it starts to lose money. So make notes right now about things that I just talked about. It's very important that you do that, because if after a while you start to lose what you learned. Okay, so let's talk about how to buy properties, no money down. Now, if Bob talked about that yesterday, quite a few, but I'm going to now go into a little bit of a detail for you, and I'm going to keep it very simple and yet very powerful. Make notes of which strategies, because I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that you can do to buy properties, no money down. And like I said, in this course, there's 50 ways. I'm not going to talk about 50 ways. I'm going to talk about a few ways to do that. So let's talk about the actual concept of no money down. Let me give you an idea. Let's say you buy a house, and I'm saying $100,000, but it could be your currency, whatever currency you work with. And let's just say that it's a $100,000 house, okay? And you buy it for $80,000 after you repair it. So that is a $20,000 of equity in it, approximately, let's say. Let's say we find a financier, a bank, a lender, or a partner. There are places where they'll say, if the house or the property values at $100,000 and the appraisal will come at $100,000, then they don't need you to put $20,000 out of your pocket so you can get the property, no money down. We had somebody recently did a flip in Toronto, which people say you can't do that. No money down. Okay. So there are there are financiers, the banks, investors who will do that. So that would be a bank, because normally 90%, 95% of the time, bank's going to say to you, you want to buy this house, it's $100,000. You got to put $20,000 out of your pocket and we'll lend you the 80,000, for example. Okay. What I'm saying to you is there are banks that will do what I just said. Secondly, there are people or banks who will say, we don't care if the money comes out of your pocket as long as you bring $20,000 from somewhere. So let's say you have a line of credit. Let's say you have equity built in somewhere. Let's say you know me. And let's just like in the case of Kayla, we talked about where she ended up buying the property. Let's say I put the deposit down for you. I lend you the money for that. So now you get money from me, you get the money from the bank, and you get in with no money down. So that's another concept. The third concept, let me share with you. Let's say that the house that you're buying is an elderly couple or person, and they had their house, they have no mortgage on it anymore, but now they don't like to, they don't want the property. Here's why. It's looking ugly. The tenants are giving them headaches. The management company is giving them a headache. The couple is moving to a warmer climate, and property is in bad shape. Nobody wants to buy their property and all that stuff. What if you go to that seller and say to them this, hey, your house, you want $100,000 for it. I'm a real estate investor. It's in a bad spot, a bad situation right now. So I'll buy it for, and if it's a bad market, you can negotiate even better. So let's say you give them, let's say $70,000, so that's 30% down, 30% below. Or you say to them, look, I'll give you $110,000, not $100,000 that you want. I'll give you $110,000, but you will be my bank. And you will put a first lien on your own property. So I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm gonna make the property look better. I'm gonna take care of the tenants because that's what you want. You're gonna learn how to take care of the bad tenants and bring good tenants in, and you become, maybe you hire a good management company to help you with that. So it's the seller who becomes your bank without even qualifying. Meaning, a lot of times you just sign a piece of paper, like a mortgage document, and they give you the title of the property. Now you own the property. They put a first lien on it. If for whatever reason you don't do what they say or what you say you're going to do, they're just going to take your property back. So that's the third way of thinking about it. Let me give you one that is also very, very powerful, which is it's called assignment or wholesaling. So which I did when I did my 77 properties. So you got you buy a property for $100,000. It's worth $125,000, for example. You come to an investor. Let's say you come to me, and you say to me, Sunil, I have this property, but I don't have the money. I don't have the credit, and maybe you can lend me the money, and maybe he doesn't want to have a mortgage. So you could say something like to me, you could say, okay, here's the contract that shows this property is for $100,000. Here's the information package, which I shared with you guys yesterday. And you'll have a recording, all of you will have a recording of that yesterday as well. Here's the information package, Sunil. Here are the numbers, the pro formas and all that kind of stuff. And all I want is $5,000. And you'll make $20,000 because you're getting 20% off, let's say. Okay. So what you do is you take the contract, you assign it to me. I take over the contract. I close. I find the money. I find the lawyers to do all the work. I pay the land transfer tax. I do all that kind of stuff. You basically, in essence, have flipped a contract. Because you own the contract, you control the property. That's how you do it. Now, there are some places some provinces, from some even states or areas, that they don't allow assignments. They don't allow assignments. So what you're going to do is you could try do these simultaneous close. So there are simultaneous closes that one person, this is the seller, this is you, and this is B, for example. So on the same day, you close with this person, and this could be done by using hard money. So you're not going to the bank, you're not going, somebody's going to lend you money for a day, okay, to close, and you pay them like a fee of $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is. So you close with this person on that day. On the same day, I close. It's simultaneous, double closing. Now, if you say to yourself, well, what paperwork, you know, how does the, what should I put in there, this and that? It's lawyers will do that for you. You don't have to worry about that. But you have to understand the concept of how to do this. Now, I've given you some of those ones. If you don't fully understand it, that's okay, because you're going to study this more. Those of you who are not members, and you want to become members, and you want me to help you take it to the next level, I have a system. It works. It works. I've generated millions, and I have helped people generate millions of dollars. You need to study a bit more to do that. But more important than education is the connections, as I said that yesterday. So that's the reason why you would want to do it. So let me take you through how this works, okay? So we talked about the assignment. You find a good deal, you put it under contract, and you sign it as is, meaning you don't do any fix-ups, you don't do any of that stuff. The next level of that is no money down, is that you find a good deal, you put it under contract, you turnkey it, and assign it. Now, I had a member in the United States who made $1.2 million assigning to us only, just to our company. And what he did was, I told him what kind of properties I want. He understood the information package, how to send it to me, the numbers, the pictures and links and all that stuff. And then what I did was I closed on the property, and then I had him turnkey it for me. So when I turnkeyed it, I paid him more money for an assignment fee than as is. So what's a turnkey? I get him to go hunt for ugly property, and he goes and buys an ugly property. Then he already has a team of contractors, fixer-uppers, and he oversees them. So he would fix it up and make it beautiful, and then he would put a renter in, and then deal with the management company. That's a turnkey. And so some of those properties I kept it myself, and we later on, you know, sold it, or we sold it to the renters. We did the rent-to-owns, or some of them we sold it to people who say, I just want cash flow coming in. So that's the second way. You find a good deal, put it under contract, have it fixed, and turnkey it for the investor, and the investor then does all the money part, okay? And you have virtually no risk when you do that as well. Number three is that you find a good deal, close it yourself, fix it, and then flip it. Now, if you're wondering, but Sunil, don't you need money to do the third one? And the answer is not your money. So let's say you and I are good friends, right? You find a good deal, you want to buy, fix, and flip. All the money can come from an investor or a hard money lender, or partially can come from investor, partially can come from a B lender, C lender, A lender. And then whatever is needed to put a down payment, to fix up, it comes from someone like me. Now, I want you to open up this mind that there are trillions and trillions of dollars available on this planet, and they're waiting to be deployed. Because to me, every dollar is a soldier, and I want the soldier to go out, and it's like a seed in a farm. I want it to grow, but I don't want it to lose it. So that's where you start building the relationships and networking. That's why they would give money to one person and not to another person. The next one is you find properties in bulk, put it under contract, and assign it. Now, let me share with you that could change your life completely. So when I started, eventually what I ended up doing is I just went to the developers, either at the beginning or like when I found out that they just registered, I found out who that was. And a lot of them were sort of a medium class, middle class developers, not very, very high-end developers. Although there was one that was relatively high-end that I did in Montreal. I go to them and I would say to them, hey, if I buy one condo, how much would that be? They tell me. I said, what if I buy 5? Well, how much would that be? They're like, I will give you like 3%, 4%, 5% off. Great. What about 10? If I buy 10, what would you do? What would you do if I do 15? What would you do if I do 20? So what is this? It's a negotiation technique. A negotiation technique takes them, say something to them. If I buy more, you're obviously going to give me a better deal. That's the idea, right? So you're not going to one person and saying, give me a good deal. But come on, give me a good deal. You're not waiting for a motivated seller. You're going to a developer and you're saying to them, hey, look, if I buy in bulk, or if I sell it in bulk for you, what kind of discount and what kind of money will you give me? So here's something that I want you to understand. When a developer starts doing things, they have to put a lot of money in marketing. Some of them put like $1 million, $2 million. Some of them put an extra money into model homes. So what I say to them is like, look, if I sell those properties for you, majority of it, then you may not even have to do it. You don't have to take out ads. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to do big marketing. You don't have to go on TV. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And if I don't perform, then you don't pay me anything. So I went to developers like that, and I asked them for 60 to 90 days, and I asked them for exclusivity for those units. And I just did one agreement, and it says this. It says, Sunil Tulsiani will sell 20 units, numbered blah, 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 on best effort basis. Now, people ask me, Sunil, when you put up a contract worth like $5-10 million like that, how much money did you put down? The answer is 0. No money. And here's the amazing part. I would negotiate $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per unit for my members and my investors. Before PIC, there was no members, it was just investors. And I would negotiate $10,000 for me. Remember, it's not or, it's and. They would give me $10,000 and they'll give $50,000, $60,000 to my investors. And why would they do that? Because they can multiply, let's say, $60,000 per unit times 20. And they go, you know what? We would have spent that in marketing. And when we spend money on marketing, we don't know if we're going to get money. And on top of the marketing, we're going to hire a real estate agent who's going to sit in the office that I'm paying for, whereas me, they're not paying for my office. And in addition to the marketing fees, they're going to have to pay those agents. And if the marketing doesn't work out, then money's not, it's not a money back guarantee for them. Well, for me, it's essentially a money back guarantee. If I don't do it, they don't pay me. They have nothing to lose. It only works if the project is about to start or a project has ended, and they have few more left and they can't sell. And right now, buying, fix, and flipping is really good because prices kept going up. And so you can just buy something and flip it very quickly. In this case, what if you were a member and you went and just did one strategy, which is what made me lots of money? What if you just told the developer, look, I'm a member of one of the top elite real estate club. Here's what it is. And maybe you gave them my book or something like that. And say that we're looking to buy properties in bulk. And do the same thing. If we were to buy 5, what kind of discount? If we buy 10, we buy 15, we buy 20, what kind of discount? And let's say they give you a discount and then you are a member and then you have negotiated to a certain degree and then you bring me on to negotiate even further with them. And then I close the deal. What if you just made like $5,000 and we did 20? What if we like, I have a lot of investors who would buy them, right? So I would sell it to those investors. I would keep some for me, maybe. Doesn't matter. What if you made $5,000? So 20 times 5, which is what that's $100,000. And in the beginning, I raised money like 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand down payments because I made $100,000 and that's where the money came from. Or I would go to developer and say, look, when I sell 20, my own unit that I want to buy, I want to put $1,000 or $5,000. And then when you close in 3 years or build in 3 years, then the rest of it is due at that time. So developer, if you go by yourself and say, I want to buy one and put no money down, it just doesn't work that way. But if you took somebody else's money and put a deposit down, now it's no money down for you. So what if you did that? What if you just focused on that or focused on finding wholesalers who find properties all the time? You don't even have to negotiate it. You found the deal, you bring it to us, send us the information package, and you do that. That is how you can start. So people say to me, Sunil, is there such thing as no risk? But I'm going to share with you that I would say that there is such thing as almost no risk. And here's how it works. You go there, you put a property under contract, you have, let's say, 15 days, 30 days, whatever the timeline is. You must make sure you put it in the calendar when those 14, 15 days end, because after that, you lose the deposit and possibly then the seller coming after you for the rest of the money. But if you put it up properly and you have escape clauses in the contract that says, if I don't get financing, if my lawyer says no, or if the inspection time, whatever, and you withdraw before the date that you're supposed to, all the money should come back. And so you put it under contract, you put it, and then you say this contract is assignable. You bring it to somebody like myself or investor, say, do you want it? I would close it within that time period if I love it. And that's it. That's as least risk as possible. Of the 77 properties, I had done a lot of assignments. I did pre-constructions. I did rent-to-owns. I did rentals, and I did flips. And then I also lended the deposits or down payments. So here's what happens with some of my members. They find a property, they need 20% down. They need whatever percentage down. So it's called down payment partners. Down payment partners. What if you get 80% from a bank and 20% from somebody else? How many properties can you buy? Well, some of you will say, well, Sunil, but the bank will only give me 4 or 5 or 10 properties. Okay, let me give you another way of doing it. How about you find a property, then you find an investor who will put the property under their name, and they will get the mortgage and they will put the down payment. I want to repeat this. It's unbelievable. What if you become so good at locating people who have good deals, locating people who are making money, and locating people who are good at negotiating, or you become good at negotiating? Bottom line is you're able to find good deals. What if you find investors right now, start like in the next 6 months, you start making a list of these people. They are your down payment partners, and they also get the mortgage. And what if you say to them, I'll find the property, I'll negotiate the property, I will manage, I'll oversee the management, I will take care of it for free for rest of 5 years that, let's say you want to keep it 5 years. I will do everything. So it's my sweat equity, my negotiation skills. You is 100% passive. When you put 20% down, and when you put it on your, when you put it under your name, the risk for you is nothing because it's under your name. If I don't perform, you have it. You have the deal. And so in the beginning, I would say, hey, let's do 50-50. I find a property, you're the funder, and you're going to close under your name. But some of the people at the beginning would say to me, yeah, but Sunil, I don't think 50-50 is fair because, I'm putting all the money, you have no risk. So I used to say, well, you're right. Here's what I'm putting in though. I spend all this money in training. I look at maybe 50 properties or 100 properties to get 1 or 2 properties. I'm a good negotiator. I'll put the deal together. Sometimes I'll spend a week and not get a property. And for you, it's completely passive. And I don't want to do all this work and not make any money. So I wouldn't do anything if it was not good. And the fact is, it's going to be under your name. If I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to make any money. Next thing is, when we sell the property, 100% of your money comes back first before you even touch anything. We pay every bill, including you, first before you give me my 50%. So in the beginning, if they say to me like 50% is not fair, after I explain this to them, I say to them, okay, what do you think is fair? Like, I understand, we're doing this the first time and you don't think it's fair. What do you think is fair? And you know what? They come up with 75%, 25%, 70-30, 20-80. And I have gone as low as 20-80. The reason I did that is that I really have nothing to lose. And secondly, I'd rather make 20% of something than 0% of nothing. So here's what I said to them. I said to them, John, normally I wouldn't do this. This is not what, I would take 50%, but it's because you, and hopefully you like them, and I like you. For this time only, I'll do this 80-20. Okay, I'll do all the work, everything I promised, and I will only take 20%, which is what you want me to do if you think it's fair. I'll do it this time. Is that fair with you? Is that good? They're going to have to say yes, because they're the one who said that's fair. You shake on it, and I would close the deal. Why did I say this time I'll do it? Because next time around, I may have other investors, and I would go to them and say, look, I know we did the first deal, 20-80, but I can't do that now. Okay, I find good deals, you're making good return. Even when you're giving me 50%, you're making 20% on your money. You're making good deal. So what if I'm making 20%? You're still making, if the property with all the other returns on investment is making this percentage, you're making way more. You're doing no work. It's passive for you and all that stuff. So then I would have said to them, okay, look, now over the 6 months, a year, I'm so blessed to be able to have all these investors, people who are interested in something like this, but I'm here because I started with you. If you say to me, no, this is not interesting to you, I would go to the other investors. So you have the first right of refusal. And sometimes, depending upon how many people you have and how convincing you are, because if you're telling the truth, you'll be convincing. Because I did that. I basically lined up 8 or 10 people. Then I went to the person. I said, look, I don't want you to be upset. This is what it is. I got 8 people that are willing to do it with me. What do you want to do? And sometimes they'll say, well, I don't have the money, or I would love to do it, but how about same as what we did before? I said, well, you know what? I'll go check it out. If one of those investors don't work out, I'll come back to you. And then I would just go back to the investors and do 50-50. And to do that, I want you to understand, from a Simon point of view, you don't need credit, you don't need money, you don't need friends. You just need accessibility to people that you can assign the properties to, an ability to find good deals. So people say, I don't have the money. I live in Lithuania. I live in Africa. I live in small town. None of that matters anymore, because you can do all that online now. You can find a property online. You can put a contract online. You can then tell investors online, have a Zoom meeting to say, this is what the property is. And hopefully you know how to share your screens, and you're able to share your pro formas. And you can do this right now from anywhere in the world. So that's assignment. The second one I just shared with you right now. You don't need credit. You don't need bank statement. You don't need down payment. You don't need it. And if you set this up, you can end up buying 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. How many properties can you buy if you don't have to worry about money or credit? Unbelievable. It's just totally unbelievable to understand that. So I hope you're getting a huge value in this. So what's the missing point? Missing point here is we all need to make sure that you understand the education is the starting point. The connections, access, the relationships are way more important, because you can have all the knowledge in the world. You can do all the law of attractions. We can all pray, which I do. You can all visualize, which I do. You can all write stuff, which I absolutely do. But that's the starting point. It's not the end point. You do have to do stuff, which is attract the right deals and attract the money into your life. So I'm going to go for a little break. Before I do that, let me just see if I can look at the chat, because I haven't been looking at chats. Can you guys put it in the chat box? What point that I just covered, the assignments, rental and vendor take back, going to a developer and then going to an investor at multi-units, the way I did it, buying properties where you don't need money or the credit, or the assignments or joint ventures, or which ones do you like? Go ahead, put it in there. Thank you, Shannon, for your infinite. Jill said, yeah, Veronica says infinite. Jill says amazing. Kevin, thank you. Leanne likes joint venture. Francesca, Alan, Thomas. Oh, you guys are going fast now. Anne, Radha, Veronica, assignment and joint ventures. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Yasmin, joint venture. Paul, JV, Shannon, JV, negotiation, OPM, development, vendor, take back, joint venture, developer. By the way, you can go to developers now, and even if they say no, at least they got to know. Here's what one of my members did that generated a huge amount of money for him. Until he became an author by himself, what he did was he took some of my books. So he bought like 20 or 30 of my books at wholesale price. You know, we just gave it to him like wholesale price. And he took the books and he would go to a developer and he would come in and say, hey, I want to talk to the person in charge. I have a gift for him. And he would walk in and then he would show the book to the receptionist or whoever the current person is. And because he walked in with a gift, they go, oh, thank you. Yeah, Joe's here. Yeah, let me just call him for you. And they would call Joe and they say, Joe, I have a gift for you. And then go in. He would sometimes autograph my book himself, but he's not pretending to be me. Believe me, he's just saying, I just got this book for you. And then he would go in and got his foot in the door, basically, get his foot in the door. And it doesn't work all the time, but this is how he did it. You got a foot in the door, and once he got a foot in the door, he would say, you know, I'm a real estate investor, and I belong to an elite real estate club. We're always looking for properties like this that you have, and we're looking for properties to buy in bulk. Do you want to sell your properties in bulk? You know, no one really has ever said to that answer no. I'll say, oh yeah, sure, come on in, have a seat, whatever. And see, then this is what he did. Then he said, by the way, this is Brian Tracy and this is Sunil Tulsiani. Sunil is the founder of the Private Investment Club, and I know him really well. Oh, by the way, here's your book. And so what that did was it brought him credibility, foot in the door, and now the developer is like, I really don't even care about this guy, because you know what the truth is, if you're doing it for the first time, or if you're doing it, if you haven't done it before, they'll know that you're not experienced yet, but they don't care anymore. They're like, oh, I can connect to somebody through him, through her. So then you can just negotiate and say something like, well, you know, I'm going to have to negotiate. You tell me what the price, I'll take it back to Sunil. And then if it works out, I might even be able to set up a meeting between all three of us. And that's how you do it. Because I did it. And I have people who do it. Now, this could be condo conversions. This could be brand new properties. It could be older properties. It could be connecting with whatever. First, you connect with center of influences. Then you become the center of influence. That is where the next level is for you. So thank you for all your comments. I appreciate you guys. Sunil, do recording of books to buy. What? Nima, can you repeat your question, please, for me? I appreciate you. A lot of you saying, wow, I appreciate that too. Okay, my team, what I want you to do is this. I'm going to go for a break. It's 2:45 Toronto time, and I'm going to take a 10-minute break. And what I'm going to do is this. A lot of you are still telling me, I'm still getting emails saying you guys can't log on to the one-on-one. You can't do that, and it's frustrating because I don't know what the technical issue is right now. So what I'll do is this. During the break, I want you to click on the link. I'll give you a direct link, or if it wasn't done already, my team can put that on right now for one-on-one and people who want to become members. I want you to spend 5 minutes filling that out right now. Even if you think you can't do it, even if you think I can't afford it, even if you think that there's no way I can do it, but the only reason that you should not do it is that I'm not interested in making money. Real estate, that's my, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be, I don't want to be a center of influence. I don't want to have entrepreneurs. I don't want to become an entrepreneur, and I don't want to have any cash flow, passive income. Then I'm not like you're in a learning mode. Maybe you're not in a doing mode. Then you don't do it. So go ahead. I want you to click on this link. So one of the first one, it says become an elite PIC member. Those of you who want to become PIC members, click on that right now. I don't know if you have to cut and paste, guys, but click on it, see if it works. And the second is to win the $5,000 one-on-one. I will choose 10% of the people from yesterday, as I promised, and my team will just basically pick it. So we're going to go on a break, but I don't want you to leave anywhere until you click on these two to tell me that it's working, like these links are working, or like I got people coming, like this is probably the highest number of people who told me that the link wasn't working. And that's, I don't know what, I mean, I couldn't even do the share screen. So if you guys can tell me if the link works, Kevin says works. Shannon says she filled out both. That's awesome. By the way, so go ahead, click on it, and I want you to tell me when you complete both or one of them right now. So I'm going to wait for another 2 or 3 minutes for you. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be right here for us. And I want you to tell me, I'm going to go to the gallery mode so I can see all of you. And I want you to actually go ahead and did it. Thank you, Leanne. Andrew says it worked. Alan says, yes, it's working now. Radha says it's worked. So keep clicking on it. Don't put it off to some other time. I want you to fill it right now. And then once you submit it, let me know that it actually went through, because that is one of the issues and one of the problems that we're having right now. If you are a member, do the same thing. If you are a non-member, do the same thing. Click on it right now. Thank you. John says he did it. Thank you, John. I'll wait for you guys. Go ahead. We still have 109 people. So welcome to the mastermind. And I'm going to have a break after 5 minutes. But right now, if you just joined us, the links weren't working. There was some technical issues, the highest number of technical issues that I've seen in the past. I want you to click on those 2 links so then you guys have the fair advantage for being here today, because you had to double the chance of winning some of the great stuff. Let's see who has Dace. Thank you. Appreciate that, Sally. Have done it. Good. Kim, done. Awesome. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Let me see you guys do this. Good. Keep going. Alan says working. Thank you, Alan. Let me know you guys. I have 3 more minutes before I actually go on a break. Just keep filling that form. Questionnaire should not take you more. Chris says it worked yesterday. Good. Awesome. Al says mentoring done. Good. Belinda said done. Good. Hanif says functional. Awesome. He's laughing. That's good. Belinda says done. That is great. That's awesome. Keep going, guys. 2 more minutes. Let me see. Yes. Keep going, guys. Thomas has done it. That is awesome. Good for you. And if you have done one and you want to do the second one, do that as well right now. Team, just put both of them again because it's probably scrolled up. Marika, all right. Good to see that. Jill, good to see that. Awesome. So this one is for winning one-on-one. Click on this if you haven't done it. And this one is for applying to become a PIC membership. So what happens with PIC membership is you do the questionnaire, then we review it, then you have an interview with me, or some of the people will have an interview with me. And then if we think it's a great idea, then you become part of the PIC family to go to the next level. Cheryl, done. Awesome. Very good to see that. Keep doing it. I have 1 more minute. And when I go on a break, and if you're still filling out, keep filling it out, because I'm going to give you about 10 minutes of a break right now. Kevin says link is working. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you for confirming. And so we're going to go for a 10-minute break in about 40 seconds or so. And when we come back in 10 minutes, I'm going to go over some of the other things, like, how do you get access to $1 million? How do you generate $100,000 part-time with PIC, and how do you become wealthy? Everything that I promised, I'm going to go over. And within that 10 minutes, I'm going to figure out how to share my screen with you guys. What do I have to do to make that happen? Karsai said done. Thank you. Good. Who else? Ken, link is working for me. All right, Ken, good to see you. Afina, done. All right. 20 seconds before I go on break. Dennis says done. That's good. Thomas, great, done. Keep going, guys. Lawrence, done. Awesome. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Keep going. And let's see. By the way, when we go on a break, you can just mute and you can get off the camera, but just keep it the way it is. Don't log off, just stay where you are. We're going to be back in 10 minutes. All right. I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. I'll go use the facilities. I'll come back, fix this issue, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Wave, let's see you, wave, guys. All right. Good to see you. All right, take care. I'll see you back in 10 minutes. All right, everybody, come on back in. We got a couple of minutes. Yes. Yeah. Let me see you guys clap. Let me see. It's just, yes. Todd, I can see you. Come on. Let me see it. There you go. I want the energy, man. I'm like, wait. Yeah. Look at Veronica. She's dancing. Woo! And that's awesome. Come back, guys. Everybody, come right back. I have a good news. I finally was able to share this stuff magically, and well, not really magically. Mohammed called me and he took care of it. So it's all done. So thank you, everybody. And Sagita's taking a video beside me talking to a computer. So it's awesome. Good to see you all back. And I'm, Hugh's here. Hello, Hugh. I don't know if you came out later on, but hello. Mohammed's back. That's good to see. Ken is back. Todd is back. Shannon's back. Belinda, I think, is almost back or coming back. Tammy Tao's here. Radha's here. Stephen is here. Let's see. Jitu's here. Dharmender's here. Hi, Dharm. Leanne, hello. Ah, look at that. I like your background, Leanne. Oh, man, this is awesome. Here's what I'll do. Before I start, can I have Mohammed? I'm going to have you. I'm going to just say the names and maybe you can just spotlight them. I just want to say hello to them and we go from there. Let's do this right now. So we're coming right back from our break. Mohammed, let's do David Lakan. David, just wave. Maybe it'd be easier for him to find you. Let's start with David. Yes, to spotlight both of us. That would be awesome. So we're coming. You guys are there?
Yep, we're on screen together.
All right. How you doing, David?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good.
Everything's back up.
Yes, and David, yesterday, was we saw you talk about some of the stuff that like. There's nothing much I just want to share with you that David has become a good friend. I love this guy; he's amazing, and he's part of my mentoring program. And David, what's one or two things that very inspiring for you, and what's one or two things that you absolutely would love to see happen to you in the area of wealth? And the wealth is not only money; wealth is anything. There are other things. Go ahead.
Well, it's about contribution, right? So what you can contribute to other people. Like I see folks here who are asking about to become speakers or have a book or just have be a person of influence. And being a person of influence is part of wealth also, because if you can influence people in a positive way to pick them up instead of handing out, you can do so much for society. In that, I mean, you always have to work on yourself first, and part of it is having the ownership on your own to say, hey, I need help. I spoke about the team yesterday. But first you have to give the onus on yourself to say, you know what, I've done it for so long. I've been around doing business, whichever, 40 plus years. For me, I'm 47, and I've done it as a solo act. And you have to be kind of saying, you know what, I haven't gotten where I wanted to be in life. And I have this advantage now, like we heard Brian and Robert speak yesterday, and yourself and many others, of what the new world is looking like. It's not really new though. It's about communicating with people who are where you want to be, and having that relationship, as you spoke before, and getting it done. You're not going to do it by just looking at a screen or not doing anything all day on your phone, right? You have to go out and take the next step. And the next step could be as simple as signing up for the mentorship, reading a book, looking at the things that is going to be the steps to bring you closer to where you want to be in the future. Not yesterday, but tomorrow. You can't do anything from yesterday. Tomorrow's another day. It's like the Monopoly game. You get to pass go every round, right? And you roll the dice, and where you land is where you land. You take advantage of it. You had a bike by Connecticut, or you leave it for the other guy. But in our case, we got to buy it, right? And that's the action part. Roll the dice.
All right, sounds good. Mohammed, while I finish with David, if you can get Lally, if you don't mind, we can spotlight you as well. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. And Lally, I think you're in the car or something. Just there she is. There you go. Good to see you, Lally. Unmute yourself, or maybe somebody can unmute her. There you are. How are you?
I'm excellent. Better.
All right, Lally. Tell me one great. By the way, Lally is a real estate agent. She just wrote a book with me and Brian Tracy. and tell me one or two good things that you are going to implement, something you learned, something that was aha for you today or yesterday.
Well, I would like just to correct a little bit. I used to be a real estate, but now I'm interested in real estate as an investor with my
I see.
husband.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
I'm
it.
more coach, and I was thinking about several things that you brought up yesterday and today about the digital platform and membership for my coaching business. This is great, and from real estate perspective, I think that there are so many good ideas, but again, as you mentioned, working with investors, using them as 100% if they're taking mortgages, you cannot take anymore under your name, or leveraging this as much as you can. Trying to find connections for the developers or anyone who know them. It's
Yes.
and connections.
That's awesome. All right. So what I want you to do, by the way, oh, David, if you want, you can just put your name and contact information. Lally, put your name and contact information. I love your wisdom. I appreciate you. And if we can get Ken Redder next. Thanks, Lally. I appreciate you. Put your information.
Thank you. Thank you for your information.
Yes, you're welcome. You're very welcome. If we can get Ken Rudder, and by the way, everybody else, if I don't get to you, just put it in your chat box. What's one thing that you learned that's important to you that you're going to take, or two things or three things that you have learned to do that stuff. So, Ken, good to see you.
Yeah, good day, Sunil.
All right.
You pulled a surprise on me. I didn't know you were going to call me up today.
I didn't tell anybody today, actually. I just did it.
That's all right.
Hey, listen, Ken is a gentleman. Like I said, he's a farmer. He became a member a few months ago. And then he was at the members only session where he talked about how he bought, is it 7 units, right?
7 units, 2 properties.
2 properties consisting of 7 units, no money down. Ken, give us, just keep it brief. Tell me one or two things that you loved, or it was aha, or something that you want to bring it out for the rest of the people here. We still have 99 people here. Go ahead.
Yeah. The biggest aha moment yesterday was Brian Tracy saying, focus on task 1 until done.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's very, very powerful to me. It eliminates the procrastination.
Yes.
And I just loved Robert Allen's too. That was also a very good presentation. There's lots of tidbits in there to glean. And so, yeah. And,
awesome.
I just like to focus on, the properties I did buy, this summer, there were no money down, and I actually ended up with 102% financing because they gave me some line of credit over and above the purchase price. They paid for the deposit, everything. It's awesome. All out of equity. So
awesome. Everybody, thank you very much, Ken. You put your information as well. I noticed you've changed your name. I am proud of you. It was Pat throughout all the time. Now you got Ken. I'm really happy.
Muhammad gave the tip. Like he said, go into your participants, go into the name. And like other people said, go to the 3 dots. And I've tried doing that before and it doesn't work. And so finally, Muhammad was
good.
Hang on. You got
good,
me.
Muhammad.
Done.
All right.
I give credit to RJ as well. He was the one who mentioned it in the chat as well.
Thanks, RJ. All right. How about we get Leanne from Latvia, just to say hello to Leanne. Come on, Leanne. Thanks, Ken. I appreciate you. If you want to put by the way, if you guys want to put your contact info, please go ahead. And after Leanne, I would like to get Philip Ager as well. So you, Mohammed, you would know which.
How do I spell it?
Leanne, just wave. She's there. She our last name is Voina. She's been waving.
There you go.
There she is.
Hello.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. It's nice to be here.
Good to see you. And you are in Latvia, and you're learning. You were here yesterday. You're here today. I'm very happy and impressed. What do you got? What are you showing me? Oh, you got it. That's awesome. See, nothing can stop a person that really are going to do it. And okay, so give me one or two things from your wisdom, one or two things today or yesterday. Today was a little bit more strategy. Yesterday was there's anything, one or two things you're like, wow, I'm going to do this. Could be inspiration. It could be strategy, whatever.
Well, yesterday, the whole day was, the whole evening was the inspiration. You know, it's late. And that was my first event or anything after COVID. I was 3 weeks totally down. So yesterday I sat, the whole thing was so interesting. At 1 p.m. at night, I started to have a headache, but I thought, no, I'm going to do this till the end. So I really liked what Robert G. Allen said. He said, other people resources.
Yes.
And this is basically what you talked about as well. And it just, the whole picture totally changed. And you called me up and I was in the middle of typing you. And yeah, I know. And I really liked all the digitalized thing. And I really, really would like to look into joint ventures.
Yes. And I have to tell you that I see a huge potential in you. I see a huge potential. So you can do it. And so happy to have you. And thank you for your feedback. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. I put yes on everything except the public speaking. I put yes, but I'm still a bit shaky about that.
It's okay. It's okay. I totally understand it. First time when I spoke, I was hoping a twister will come by and blow the entire hotel. We all would go home. That's what my vision was. But I'm glad that that day, that one day, the first time, it changed my life completely. I just went and I figured out that day, or discovered that day, apparently I'm a public speaker. You see, now that you brought this up, I want you to stick around for a second. You see what happened with the public speaking was, after I started to speak, people would go, hey, have you done NLP? Or have you done this kind of speaking? Or have you taken this speaking course? Have you gone to this blah, blah, blah? And hey, maybe you start with a joke and then you start with a story, then you start with this and all that stuff. And they asked me, and I said, I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know what NLP is. I didn't get up on the stage and say, oh my God, I got to start with this. Because I was too scared. I used to like, oh my God, I got to go inspire people. I got to go tell a joke. I gotta give some value, and then hopefully they will, like it. Like I used to be scared of all that kind of stuff.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. And then I get on the stage and people came to me and said, hey, you've taken NLP, right? You've taken marketing, you've taken the, speaking courses, you've taken this and that. And I said, none. And I get up and I tell them, like, to me, it's like, okay, talk about this iPhone. So I talk about the iPhone and this is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. For me, success is that, right? So I'm not even, like, a lot of times, even when I went on Tony Robbins or big stages, it was not even scripted. It's not scripted for me. It's just like, sometimes I say this, I do the same presentation in front of different crowd, and the same presentation is different in different crowd, with different crowd. So you can do it. You have a good potential of doing it. So that's awesome. Good to see you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Who's next? Phil. Maybe you can get Phil Ager. Hey, Phil, how you doing? Yeah, you're muted, I think. You're muted? Yes, you are. Okay.
Yes, I'm good, Sunil. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, give us your wisdom, Mr. Wanting to become the wealthy correctional officer, wanting to follow my steps. Go ahead.
Yes, the wealthy former correction officer.
Yeah, well, no, you're going to be wealthy correctional officer because I'm called wealthy cop.
Got you. Okay, got you.
Go for it.
Just stand persistent, man. Stand persistent and positioning for what's coming.
Yes.
Right? Because the world is changing every day. The world is changing, man, at a fast pace. So literally just positioning myself for when things happen to take advantage of it. And I'm gonna tell you this, I just want to share this with you and everybody else on the line. Due to the fact that I left my job, JOB, I get a lot of individuals coming from the back door saying how proud they are of me to do that, and that you have to have a lot of cahoots in order to do such things.
Guts.
Yes. So I've learned a lot about myself, and a lot of that is looking at you and what you've done.
Thank you.
And you inspire me from your travels, man. So just want to tell you that.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. All right.
I appreciate you.
And I am I'm doing one-on-one with this gentleman. He is no questions going to the next level. Let's see. Maybe I'll take one or two more before I go in. Let's see. Who else can I get? Let's see. Somebody from. How about Dace? Dace, you want to come on? Yes. Okay. Let's bring Dace on for a minute, please. Hello. Another beautiful lady from Latvia.
It's it's a big pleasure for me to see you all together. And I just send one short message in chat books for Latvians. Maybe we can make some group, like Sunil's group.
Yes.
This is additionally. I love this twerking. I love this cocktail because this is so positive, so positive. I simply adore yesterday, and I'm sorry that I missed the beginning, but some things is not depend on me, but I am here now, and I was yesterday, and I love every single word from Brian Tracy, from Sunil, for everybody who I heard. Thank you. It's amazing. And I love, like I was mentioned already before, never give up.
Yes.
This is, no matter what you do, never take no as an answer. Try one more time, try one more time, try one more time, till you get the right answer you need. And of course, how you start your day. This is very important. When you open your eyes, the first thing, like first 10 minutes, please schedule your day in your brain. Live your day in your mind. Make it positive. Go to your aims. This is so important.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you for being here. Yes, I think Latvia is going to be one of those countries that in the very near future, I'm going to have some of the pick millionaires right there in that country. So I'm so happy to have you. Yesterday we had 3 of you. Today I think 2 of you here. So I also see a big potential in you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mohammed, can you come on yourself? Mohammed? There he is. All right, Mohammed, your wisdom, other than, fixing and being the hero and all that kind of stuff. Tell me.
My wisdom. All right, that's fine. Well, it's about, I guess, stepping outside your comfort zone. Most of the time, I think I'm more the one who didn't used to do that. To tell you a story how I met like Pick itself, I saw Sunil. He had an interview with Grant Cardone. And then I took myself and took my car to Toronto and came to an event at like some fancy hotel. I had no idea what was going on. I walk in, big group of intimidating investors, everyone all there. And I was at the time, I would consider myself just so out of place. I took the very back seat. Like if you look at the whole room, I took the very back seat in the very corner where no one could see me or talk to me.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, and I tell you, by the end of the day, I was a PIC member. So it's quite funny, and you're gonna feel this weird feeling in your gut of being scared, and should I make an investment in whatever you do? Maybe it's a house, maybe it's joining PIC itself like I did, but just embracing it and then taking it on. You'll find yourself having so many more opportunities in life. Just Obviously, a lot of you guys have a lot more experience than me, but I've just found that, I've just seen tremendous growth in myself in the past 2 years by just stepping outside my comfort zone, taking risks I never, taken before. And I found that the more risks I take, the more I either win or lose, but it's better than just staying in my comfort zone and being average. So,
and you're growing, so that's a good thing. That's the main part. Yeah, awesome. And Mohammed, last person, maybe I can have Mike Burgess on, and then I'll move on, please. Thank you, Mohammed, for being here.
Hi, Sunil.
Mike, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
All right. So if you don't know Mike, he is a good friend. He's a really successful real estate investor. And I just love this guy. Mike, your wisdom on your ahas or your something that you heard yesterday or today that you may have heard before because you've been doing for like over 40 years, or something new you like, wow, that was amazing. What would that be for?
I think for me, one of the big things to implement, and there was so many, but one of the things yesterday from Brian Tracy, really to look at those top 3 things. And I think somebody had pointed these points out as well earlier, just recently. But for me, that was my big takeaway. What are the biggest impact things in my business? And then what can I do? What can I take away, or what can I give up? So in my business in Nova Scotia here, we've been sort of hit with some rent control, which we didn't have historically prior to COVID. It was implemented. It was implemented on a temporary basis, and then last week they've extended it for another 2 years. So it's made the real estate industry a little bit more difficult. So a couple of years ago, I had made my focus to what really hammer hard at raising rents each year. I had gotten complacent and let sort of things go for 2 and 3 and 4 years with some tenants that seem to be struggling financially. So that's really one of the things that's our only window here to be able to raise rents is on tenant turnover. So that's really where I'm pushing it, turning over some tenants and bringing rents to market.
Good.
So that's great. And on top of that, I mean, when you and I are always talking one-on-one, I always sort of give you a gentle dig on what an awesome salesman you are. And and in this member section, I can really see how you're giving your whole heart and being vulnerable, giving everything out to everybody. So just my advice to everybody on the call, just soak that up and take advantage of it, because Sunil's really giving and sharing. So that's phenomenal. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here, guys, everybody. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you, Mike, as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So let's do this. Where should I go from here? All right. Let's see if the share button works for me, which it should. Ta-da! Woo-hoo! It works. All right. So let me just. Why is this like this? Give me a second. Okay, so that was the agenda. Okay, so this was the plurking list I talked about to you guys, what you should be writing in your plurking list. Please don't skip this. I talked about how to take advantage of the big crash. If you want to take a screenshot, I'm here for you to take the screenshot for about 5 seconds. All right, how to buy properties, no money down. Remember I talked about how you can do that and put in bulk, finding the deals, finding a center of influence. So there's no
full screen your presentation. Can you go to a slideshow at the top there?
Where?
There's a bar that says slideshow. Go to our slideshow. And
Okay.
then you say play from current slide.
Play from current slide. It's going to play automatically.
No, it's just like you're just opening it up bigger. Should be, if I'm correct.
Okay, but then I can't see the other slide.
Well, then you would just click next. Unless you want to see what's coming next, you mean?
Yeah, or previous or the next. Okay, so so we were up to here. Okay. All right, so let's get into the how to generate $100,000 part-time with PIC. So how do I go back again, Mohammed? If I was to want
If you want to make it smaller, you can just press escape on your keyboard or on the top left corner.
Got it. And so is it that you guys only see portion of my slides that way?
We just see like the whole thing. That's fine though. It's pretty big unless anyone else can't see as well.
Okay, no problem. All right, let's do the marketing, closing, and the product services. So how do you generate $100,000 with part-time with Private Investment Club, or really with any other company? But because you're here, most of you are members, or you know you're going to be connected with PIC. I'm going to talk about how do you do it with you. So any business. Yesterday we talked about it. Yesterday. Any business, there's three components to it, main components to it: marketing, selling or closing, products or services. So if you're missing any of those, then business is really not happening. Now, there are times where you have a convenience store in certain areas and you really don't do any marketing. It's just basically, it's convenient, it's right there. And, you know, it's like a gas station, it's there, convenient and all that. But whoever selected that area, the spot, usually looks at the marketing aspect, meaning how many people live there, what's the traffic rate and all that kind of stuff. So in our case, marketing is very important for you. If you're going to be a real estate investor, you're going to be an entrepreneur, coach, mentor, speaker, or author, or any of that stuff, because marketing basically means one thing, is basically how do we get people to know about you? How do we get people to get to know you? That's marketing, okay? And most people don't like it. I didn't, before getting into business, I thought marketing was a very bad word. And I just hate it. I hate it. I just never thought I would be ever consider marketing as part of the business. The closing is basically, okay, you attracted people into your life. Hey, I have this book, and you know, they see an ad on Facebook, or they you know, some center of influence helps you with that, or social media, whatever. Then you're saying, hey, buy my book. Like, hey, here, this is what the book is about. It's buy my book. If you're a coach, you're going to say something like, okay, well, you know, you said you want to be coached. This is how I can help you. And, you know, here's how we sign up. So that's the selling part of it. Now, in my world, though, selling doesn't come from the seller. Selling comes from the buyer. What does that mean? Well, what if you were thirsty, like you were really thirsty, you need water, you needed something to drink, and you're walking in a deserted land, or you're walking in the middle of nowhere, and you see a stand, like you see somebody's water stand, and that water stand is there. And you walk up to them and say, I want that water. Now, who sold who? You see, that's when the buyer says, I want that. That's the sale that I want you to get into. A sale where the buyer says, I'll give you $1, but you know what? What you have is worth more than $1 to me. Maybe it's worth $2. So to me, that's the sale. To me, it's not that like knocking on the door, making cold calls. That's not a sale to me. I mean, yes, that's technically sales, but it's not the sales that I want to do. I want people to come to me and say, I like what you have. I want to be part of that. That's a sale to me. So, and it's fun for me. It's because we then attract the right people. See, for me, the building a relationship with you guys is really, really important to me. It's very, I get happy. I plurk. That's what plurking is. And so that's the closing. And the third is, okay, so you attracted people, then they bought your product, And now you got to deliver the product, right? Whether it's your service, whether it's coaching, whether it's membership site, whether it's investor who says, I want to buy a do JV with you. I want to buy properties with you. Even real estate follows the same thing. Whether you're a real estate agent, mortgage broker, you're an investor, or any type of entrepreneurship, this is important. So then, what if you were not good at marketing and you did not have a product? What if you are good at marketing, but you're not good at sales and you don't have a product? And what if you have a good product and service, but you're not good at sales or marketing? You can still make huge amount of money. And I'll tell you what, let me give you an example. So in the past, we would have like so many people come to us and say something like, hey, we want to be a member of Private Investment Club. The challenge we have is that we don't have an application where people just go up and sign up and become members. There's a process. We want the right people. I want the right people. I want good people into tech, because that's the power. Power is the group. So sometimes I will spend some money in marketing. So I do the opt-in pages, the websites, Facebook ads, and all that stuff. Let's say we have like 5,000 people. And let's say of the 5,000 people, not from, let's say, an event per se, but just for marketing. And some percentage of those say we want to be a members of Private Investment Club. And let's say that you could be my closer. And what's a closer? Closer is somebody who can say, okay, you want to be a member? I will train you to say, these are the things that I'm looking for. And instead of me interviewing everybody, you will interview them. And then I will then interview them finally for like 5 minutes instead of 20, 25 minutes. That saves me time. That saves me energy. And you would then close them. So did you have to spend money on building a website? No. Did you have to spend money on marketing? No. Did you have to have your own product? No. But when you do that, for example, most places, they will give you 8 to 10% of the revenue, of the gross revenue that you generate for them. So in our case, for example, members, what they can do is, if somebody becomes a member, they get 10%, which is $1,000 for helping to do that. Now, what's the challenge in that? You have to find center of influences who have good products and services that are spending money in marketing, that are going to pay you on time. So that's the challenge. So once you find, what if you're in a different part of the world, in India, Africa, and you have center of influences that you connect with and you sell their product? You don't have to have a website again. You don't have to find clients, because clients are coming to you. Clients are going to be saying, we want to do this. And then you're going to help them close if they fit, if they're the right people for that product or service. They can do that, well, you for pick, obviously, but for us, I'm looking for good people. That's so important. Good, loyal people who are going to want to, be anywhere in the world. And because we want to find right partners, right members, right mentees, right people. Right? That's what it is. I can't do it myself. It's just not possible. So as we grow, some of you are going to be part of that to do that. Now, when I gave you this example, I don't want you to say, oh, it's just for a Private Investment Club. It could be, and you have to be a member to be able to do that. But you could do that with another product or service, or another person to do that. So that is if you are not good at marketing, or you don't want to spend any money in marketing. It costs you zero, right? You basically have, you basically made. Now, the only thing is you have to talk to people who want to. Now, I would not ask you to call 1,000 phones, and out of 1,000 phones, have 950 people say no, and the 50 people say maybe, and one person say yes. That's not the idea. The idea is you're going to only talk to people who say, I really want this. I want this water. I'm thirsty. I want it. And that's the type of people or type of center of influences that you're looking for. So that's from the marketing point of view. So you don't even have to be that great at closing. You do have to know how to close and learn, which I'm going to be coming up in the near future. I'm going to be training some of the members for that personally. And I'm going to give you some ideas as to how to do that. What if you are not good at closing, but you're good at marketing? So Mohammed is an example of somebody who can market, right? And you can help build the list and all that stuff. So then somebody like Mohammed would then help find center of influences like myself, and he's going to help them build their list and help them build their brand and help them do that and then make money from that. So that's somebody who is good at marketing, but may not have their own products. And then now the third person is people who have their products or services. So of the three, the least important one for success is your own product or services. Because you probably know a lot of people who have good products and services and they're poor. You probably know a lot of authors that have their own books, but they don't know how. They're not good at number 1 or 2. So what can you do? Well, then you get and hire people that can do the closing for you or the marketing for you, right? You can, and you say, well, what if I don't have the money? Well, you do it on partnership basis. And you look for 100 people on LinkedIn, punch in closers. And there's a guy named Dan Locke. He teaches people how to do high ticket closing. Find those people. You know why it's so important for you to know that high ticket closer of his scores are looking for you, people with the products. So they are trained in something like this. You can actually find them. We have no excuse anymore. We have phones, and you don't have to walk even on the street to find and connect with people. So if you're not good at marketing and sale and you don't want to learn about it, then you should do product. And then you should get somebody to do it for you. But the first option, where you actually are not spending money in marketing, you don't have your product service yet, because eventually you'll have your own products, hopefully. That is the best thing to do, because you don't have to spend any money. You get the right people coming to you, like people who are saying, I am thirsty, I want that water, how do I get it? You're going to say, thank you for coming. Let me share with you how you get this water. And then you help them with their sales. Now, sales, in my view, is not seller selling to the buyer. It is buyer asking to be sold the product or service that is going to change their life. That's the sale. And that's the product and services that you want to be part of as well. So you don't have to have your own website. You don't have to have an email list. You don't have to. Basically, the center of influence is going to send you people who want to drink that water. You're going to give them the water, and you're going to take the cut from it. And then you don't have to service them. You don't even have to give them the product. You could be living anywhere in the world to do that. So that's how you can do that part-time. We had last year, there was 2 months or 3 months where one of the PIC members, I think they were like $28,000 that they earned by just doing what I'm saying to you. So I want you to know this is real. This happens. This is happening right now. And it costs zero investment to get into this business. Okay, so good. That's the next one. How to get access to $1 million now. Okay, this is going to be quite important to most people who are not able to finance their business ideas, their business, their entrepreneurship, their dream, real estate. Okay, so you know the first one, you build a website, opt-in page, and get an online ad. You invest the money. This does cost a lot of money. A lot of people tell you don't, but it does. I put down $40,000 to $50,000. It's the websites could be like $5,000 to $10,000, and the other amount of money is over the 1 year period in Facebook ads, in attracting the clients and all that stuff. So that's one option to build your investors list. You're only going to target people who are looking for passive income, people who are looking to invest in your product or service, like real estate or entrepreneurship or idea. By the way, if you want to open up, write a book, let's say, and let's say the book will cost $50,000 for marketing or publishing. The money can be brought from somebody else who believes in you to market it. Okay, this happens every day. So you need to know that building a website, opt-in page, and online ads, the important part of that is actually attracting. The first aspect, which we just talked about, which is the marketing. The first aspect, that's the one that costs most money. So then number two is sponsoring the Real Estate Expo. This is what I did personally, okay, live or virtual. Give away a valuable digital book, and I build a list of people. Every time I did that, it cost me $1,000 to $10,000, depending upon how big the virtual event is. And that's how you build a list of investors. And you can even hire people to sit at your booth and build that list. Number three is produce a big event with center of influence. When you produce a big event with center of influences, you do meet behind the scenes, backstage people and all that kind of stuff, where the networking is different. For example, people who are coming as platinum and diamonds at the Canadian Wealth Summit with Grant Cardone and Kevin Hart, Kevin Harrington. There's going to be backstage. You're going to have access to backstage. You're going to have lunch with Grant Cardone. You're going to photograph with him. You're going to not only meet Grant Cardone, but you're going to meet all the other people who are influencers in that little room, and you're going to break bread with them. It is just life-changing. And then, having a backstage access and pass to Kevin Hart. Now, I want you to understand, it's not the physical food that is different, maybe slightly because it's a 5-star or whatever it is, but it's the environment that gets created and the networking and the relationships that get built that is more important to do that stuff. So producing a big event with like somebody like myself, you will be seen as a producer with me, and then your credibility brand would be at a different level. I can take you and get you, like, what if you and I were, as a producer, if I was going to Grant's studio, which is what I did with Angelo. I took him and behind the scenes, we met with Grant and we sat around, we learned from him. We spent an hour or two with him and met some of the stuff that most people would never see him the way we did. And, going to Brian's home, Robert Allen, Jack Canfield's home, some of the stuff that you do behind the scenes and the people that you meet are different. So that's how you build a list of investors, because once they get to know you, it's a lot easier for them to say yes. Speaking at big event, I mean, this you already know. So I'm looking for one person to speak at the Canadian Wealth Summit, which is going to happen most likely end of next year. It's a live event. It's in person. And it's got a more than 2,000 people capacity, 3 floor high and all that stuff. It'll change people. Whoever speaks there, it'll change their lives. It has changed my life completely. Become an elite member. Obviously, I know this is self-serving to some degree, which is becoming an elite member of Private Investment Club and flirting with me. But it's something I totally believe in. It's something that I've been able to do myself, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people do that. And becoming an elite member puts you into a different environment, and connections are different. Your people that you hang around with are different. You absolutely should be a member. No questions about that. I have to tell you, if I was, like Robert said, if I had to restart again, that's one thing I would do faster, to go to elite clubs and become a members of those elite clubs, rather than going to like the free clubs and you pay $50, $20, and they're still good. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, elite will take you to the next level. Number 6 is if you're a member of Private Investment Club, you have access to more than $1 million. You have access to more than $1 million. You have access to me and some of my multimillionaires and some of my celebrity millionaires. This alone is a reason to have a foot in the door. This alone is a reason to do it. The relationships and access is the main reasons why you should do it. The last, and but not least, number 7, is to become yourself a center of influence. And that's going to, you hanging around with center of influence, doing business, eventually you will become the center of influence. That will then attract forget about $1 million. You're going to attract much more than that. Just an idea that Kevin Harrington is worth $500 million. And he and I have a goal. We teamed up to make those 100 millionaires for Private Investment Club. Brian Tracy did the same thing to see how we can work together. They are my direct mentors. So I want you to know that becoming a center of influence yourself will absolutely change your life. And that could mean being an author. That could mean being a speaker. That could mean producing events. That could mean being invited as an expert and all that stuff. So if you want to be an expert at my events, if you want to speak at my events, that sheet that you have right now, the plurking sheet, write it down. Because a lot of people say, yeah, that's all great, Sunil. I want to speak, but how do I do this? Where do I go? Well, I'm telling you right here, this is an access. Of course, the break already has happened. Okay, so how do you become a millionaire during COVID? Partnering up with PIC on your real estate deals. Now, I already talked about the strategies. It's very simple. You get access to, sometimes I get access to real good deals, and as members, you will have access to that. Sometimes my members will bring deals and they're looking for money. That's the boiling bottom line point, is that not only, first, you will learn, okay? Then you will do. Because if you learn and don't do, you get nothing, basically. If you learn and do, great. If you don't learn and do, you will make a lot more mistakes. Learn and do. Learn from people who are doing is most important. Teachers are important, but the mentors who have done it are even a million times more important, because they are the one who did it and they're doing it now, and they can show you in different ways. So that's one. Number 2, producing big events. I talked about that. If you, by the way, in your plurking list, if you ever want to produce, man, I would like to, in this country, I would like to produce an event with Sunil, even if you're in a different country, by the way, US, Latvia, Europe, UK, whatever. I'm going to India this year to speak at an event in India. It's all partnerships, right? They're calling me to speak. And remember I said, plurking means I go somewhere, I do things where I'm having fun and I'm making money. Important to understand. A lot of people understand it at a sort of a shallow level. But I'm talking about a deeper level for it to sink into your deep level, subconscious mind. I want you to know it's very important that you get this, which is, I'm going to do activities that people think is fun, like vacations, like traveling, like speaking, like writing books, like investing. If I'm not making money from all those activities, then I am not plurking. Because a lot of times people call me up and say, Sunil, I'm so happy to tell you I'm plurking. I said, what are you doing? So I just wrote another ebook. I say, great. When did you write it? 6 months ago. Awesome. Did you make any money? No. I said, you're not plurking. Not yet. You're not plurking. You're playing. You're working, but you're not plurking. It just means you need to do both. That's what it is. Okay, write a best-selling book with me. Let's say you say to me, Sunil, how do I become, pick millionaire with it? Let's say you want to write a best-selling book with me. You want to share big stages with me or one of the legends. That's how you plurk. The idea for you is to plurk. Let me give you an idea. We just put a deal together. Robert Allen and I put a deal together, a book deal, where Robert Allen, there's a book coming out right now with Robert Allen, Kevin Harrington, and myself, and some of the other PIC members. It's called Achieve Volume 2. So that's going to come out very shortly. But Robert Allen and I have set up a deal where we're going to write a book called OPM, Other People's Money. Okay. And we're going to have like 3 people. We're going to have Robert Allen, we're going to have Sunil, and we're going to have one more person in that book. So 3 of us, we're going to be in that book. And that book is going to be bestseller, number bestseller. Thousands of copies are going to be sold. And you and I are going to be in that book together. And I'll take your brand to the massive level. OPM, Other People's Money. So if you're like, oh my God, I want to be part of it, write it down in your plurking list. Like, don't think too much. Remember, 8-year-old is like, what do I want? I want to go to Disneyland. 8-year-old doesn't say, well, I wonder if my parents have money for that. I wonder if they can take time off. I wonder if this is a good time. No, they're like, you want to go? You want to go tomorrow? Yeah, I'll go tomorrow. I go right now. They can't even sleep at night the night before. That's where we have to be. Once we become adults, we start to analyze. We start to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and we become the engineers. We like, if this happens and that happens, wait a minute, I can't do it. No, right now you're writing what you want to flirt. Remember that making that list is very important, because if you're not making that list, then you're not dreaming, you're not doing it. Do it right now. Okay, breaking bread with some of the legends. The fastest way to become PIC millionaire is to break bread. And next year, 2022, I'm going to start doing in-person events. And if you've never been to, Mike talked about the in-person event, Mohammed talked about it. If you've never been to one of my events, you will notice they're completely different. I take regular people and give them the inside access that most people on the planet will never have access to, like breaking bread with well-known people that they read their books of, like being on stages, like making $1 million. People just don't have access to that. See, all my life, I always was told, you're just a regular person. You cannot be a VIP. You cannot be, I see other people, go to the shorter line, and I have to line up all the time because I'm not a VIP. So when I became in position to make VIPs, it makes me so happy to see the glow on men and women that maybe they haven't experienced this, or they have experienced it and they're experiencing again and again and again, and they're truly plurking at that time. So making bread with some of the legends. And how do you do that? Look, anytime you have an event that you can go to, and there's a time where you can pay to have lunch or dinner or coffee with somebody, especially the Century of Influences, don't say, man, I'm going to go with the free thing. I'm going to go. Like, obviously you guys are not that, because you're here. So breaking bread with legends, becoming a millionaire, author, mentor, speaker, real estate investor, and entrepreneur. We already talked about that. And partnering up with me on your business ideas. Okay. Number 7 is the main reason why people have become elite members of Private Investment Club, which is, you're like, not only me, by the way, my friends, people who like, man, I want to learn from you. I want to partner up with you. I want to do some business with you. I have, this kind of development. I have this idea. I want to grow my business. I want to do this, but I don't have the money. I don't have the expertise. I don't have direction. I don't have mentorship. I don't know what to do, Sunil. Those are the reasons that people become members. And so how to become a PIC millionaire during COVID is even more important, because there are things that have changed. A lot of digitalization we talked about. We talked about how we should do business differently. And the scenario of that I talked this afternoon, the no money down scenario, where you don't need the money, you don't have to have credit, and yet you can actually own, not assign only, you can actually own properties, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 properties, and put no money and don't use your credit. We talked about that. And so that's education. Connections is how it makes it happen. So that's how you do this for that. Well, yeah, remember I talked to you about this event. This was 8 days before this big event was about to happen last year. COVID hit, and Ontario shut down, where probably the whole world shut down. And it was 8 days before. So now it's going to most likely, we're looking at a year from now in Toronto, same location. We have already paid everybody. We have already paid this venue, spent $1.2 million to make this. Why did I do that? $1.2 million. Why would we do that? When you put in, okay, so first of all, you guys can see on the top, third floor, right? Third floor. Then you can see the second floor. Then you can see the main floor. And then you can see the front few rows, right? It's the front few rows that I would never even consider myself in the past. I have felt like I don't even deserve to be in that category because sometimes they're just so wealthy and successful and all that stuff. So what I've done with some of the people is why did I do that is because if I don't spend or invest that kind of money, I don't attract the right people, the investors, people with money, the media, the politicians. And you're not going to do business with politicians most likely, but you never know. You're not going to do business with some of them. You never know. But what it's going to attract is people with money. And then people who sit on the top, those top, they're the spectators. They like the entertainment. They are in a learning mode. And they are like, well, that was awesome. They go home. The people on the second floor are similar, but they spend a little bit more money. People on the main floor, especially in the back, they're still spectator. Then somewhere on the halfway, there's a VIP lunches. So you have some. And then people in the front, they actually have lunch with Grant Cardone, myself, Kevin Harrington, backstage with Kevin Hart. And if I don't invest that kind of money, I cannot make VIPs. I cannot make center of influences. I cannot put people on the stage. Imagine you sitting on that stage and having a video of you speaking for the rest of your life, that you actually did that. It's just mind-boggling. It takes a person from unknown person to like all of a sudden known worldwide. That's what happened to me, by the way. That's what happened to me. And I was scared. I was nervous. I couldn't do it myself, but I did it. I hired a lot of mentors. I would say I'd spend over $1 million over the last 16 years into me. So I do what I'm telling people to do. And I want you to have that clerking. Keep doing that, clerking. This book it came out about a month and a half ago. All of you who have bought this book, please know that this book is coming out. It's at the customs right now. And because of COVID, there's some, they're doing extra checks and delays. So it's coming. We get the hardcover copy. In this book, I talk about how to become a real estate millionaire. And once again, books are starting point, connections, access to money, access to good deals, access to the right people, relationship. That's how you become very, very rich. So we talked about this yesterday. How do you flirt with me? So I'm going to give you how to flirt with me. And it's almost 4 o'clock. And I know I started about 20 minutes late because of the technical difficulties. I will be available for some questions that you guys have. So if you have any questions, tell me, because you have me right now. But I'm going to tell you, and I ended with how to flirt with me. And it's a movement. It's a movement for financial freedom and happiness and being valuable to the world. And so how can I help you flirt with me? So like I said, you're going to write it down into your flirting sheet right now. And what I like you to do is this. I like you to take a photo of it, or if you typed it, just send it to me. Send it to my team, admin@privateinvestmentclub.com. Okay. So we're going to fill it out and then you can send it. So first of all, if you're not a member, apply for it. Okay. So team, if you can put the link in there. I know a lot of you today have access to it. You've already done it. So that's awesome. If you didn't do it, here's your last chance to do that right now. I have I'll just make sure that only the people who should be members get accepted into the elite membership. I promise you that that's the only way that this would work to keep the group elite. And what that means is I'm looking for good human beings, but there's some other things that I'm looking for, which I don't tell people exactly what I'm looking for. The next thing I want you to know is that if you want to write a book with Brian Tracy, the last book is the Secret to Wealth Volume 4. This is 3 that's coming out. Number 4 is going to come out end of next year. If you want to write a book with me, I want you to put it in there. It's going to be a 1 chapter. It's going to be the fastest way to become a best-selling author. And some of you are authors already. By the way, if you're authors, co-authors, in the chat box, if you're here, can you put in the chat box for me, please, that either you are author already or you are becoming author, you're about to become an author. Go, write it in right now for me. Let me see. If you are a co-author, because I know a lot of you are, go ahead, put it in the chat box for me. Is this working? Go ahead, put it in the chat box for me. Oh, there it is. It just froze for me. There you go. There you go. Keep going. There you go. There. Some of you are sending me a direct message, by the way. Send it in public. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's awesome. Awesome. Keep going. There you go. Wow. That's great. So if you want to do that, do it. The second thing that you could do is, let me just stop the share. Second thing is, like you say, Sunil, I want to write a book with you. And in this case, I have one I'm writing right now, or I'm going to be writing with Robert Allen. We just put that deal together. It's called OPM, or some version of that. OPM stands for Other People's Money. So who's that for? It's for real estate investors, people who want to, talk about raising money. So it'd be me, you, and Robert Allen. That's it. 3 people in that book. If you want to do that, then you have the option. Put it into your plurking plan. If you want to write a book with me only, just like this book, if you want to write a book with me and you want me to publish the book, you want a company to do that, put it in there as well. Lastly, you have your own book, or you're thinking of publishing your own book, and you want my company to publish it for you. We can help you market, make it a bestseller, help you distribute and all that kind of stuff. So that's another thing that you could do if that's something that is important to you. Next is you want to speak on big stages, like I just said to you before. Write it down. You want to speak on small stage? You want to speak virtual stage? You want to speak in-person stage? Or you want to speak on gigantic stage like Canadian Wealth Summit that we just talked about? Put it in there. You never know. Maybe there's a way of doing it. And then they're making a documentary on me, which is friggin' awesome. I just never thought that documentary movie. And we're going to have a red carpet event. It's going to be launched in a movie theater. And we're talking distribution with Amazon Prime and some other places, So if you want to be like the producer or a sponsor in there, you'll be in as a credit would be, your name is going to be there. You're going to be invited as a producer at the red carpet event. All the media, the photos, and all that would be included. So if you want to be that, you want to partner up with me, you want to build a relationship with me, you want to be doing that, things like that. Just write down in your thing, produce documentary with Sunil or sponsor documentary, Sunil's documentary. Put it in your sheet right now. What else is there? And for number 7, if you're a member of Private Investment Club, send your real estate deals, business ideas, and partnerships for maybe you're looking for influencer, maybe you're looking to do something, maybe you're looking to raise money, maybe you're looking for whatever. You send us, you learn the information package, and all those members, by the way, all of you are going to get the recording of this, but all the members are going to be able to utilize the info package and everything like that we talked about. And almost every month when you become, for the members, I see you guys 10 times a year with a small group with members only. And we talk about, what's happening, how people did it, how I'm doing it, and what you can do. And some of it is repetition, so then it can become part of you. So then one day it sinks in and like, boom, there's an explosion that occurs. Now, that's what happened to a lot of people sometimes. They hear it one time, but they need to hear it more than once. And then boom, it sinks in. So number 7 is for the PIC members, if you're doing that. Become a center of influence, guys. If you want to become a center of influence, celebrity, best-selling author, well-known speaker, put it in. Number 8 is that. Number 9 is that if you want to become a millionaire mentor, a millionaire speaker, a well-known author. So there's one thing to become an author. Another thing to become a successful, wealthy author. So I'm talking about that in number 9. You want to be successful, wealthy investor or an entrepreneur. And last, number 10, if you're a member and you want to help PIC with the mission of making 100 millionaires, with the system, what we talked about, the marketing, selling. All right, so I think okay, so there it is. So if you guys are wanting to do any of these things, now I want to say something to you. You're going to get learning from a lot of places. That's awesome. This is where you are now wanting to do it. I'm giving you access to it. There are resources to access to resources, access to money, access to building your dream in real life. This is something that is where the rubber hits the road. This is where the action part comes in. You've heard it many times, millions of times. Action is more important. I want you to plurk with me and all of these things. I can be your guide, but more important than guide and mentor, I have access to some of those. I can make it happen. I have the relationships. I have some cash. I have some connections. I have the experience. I can open doors. This is where things happen, where people could learn for the rest of their lives, or they can say, okay, enough is enough. This is end of October of 2021, basically, and 2022, or starting tomorrow, that's it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to find reasons and excuses why this will work for me, rather than reasons and excuses why this will not work for me. Maybe it didn't work for you in the past. Maybe you tried a lot of stuff, it didn't work. Maybe you've been taking a lot of courses. Maybe you've been reading a lot of books. Maybe you're watching a lot of YouTube videos. Maybe you're reading a lot of ebooks, and you're learning, and you're learning. You've been learning, and then you're learning. Some of you have learned so much, it's overflow, but no action, no direction, and more importantly, no access. You have access. This is the most important part. If you're a member, especially, you have access. And if you're not a member, be a member. I mean it, apply for it. And I want you to know that investment, the most important investment on the planet, you've heard it before. It's not business. It's not real estate. It's you. And you have to prove yourself that you are. So if you like something, you're like, man, I want to duplicate what Sunil did. I want to duplicate what Mike did. I want to duplicate what Tracy did. I want to duplicate what Ken did. I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to do it. By the way, on LinkedIn, there's about 120 people. Probably very few people on the planet have that. And there are hundreds and hundreds of people. Not everything we have done has turned out to be great. I told you about my challenges in 2008 and everything like that. I want to tell you that, yes, there's going to be risks, but there's going to be, when the market crashes, we don't know the date, but when it does, it's going to be the best thing for me and some of my members and some small group of people. And it's not going to be really good for majority of the people who don't know. They don't have the direction. They don't have the access. This is what is very, very important. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go to my chat, and I like everybody to, first of all, let me change my to, it shows me I'm directly sending email to somebody. I was about to, I'm going to go back. So then it's everybody. I can do that with everybody. Yes. Oh, there's like so many messages that I'm missing. Amazing. Okay. It is 10 minutes after 4. My team, actually, all of you, if you have just did your plurking and you need another minute or two to complete your plurking list, I want you to do that right now. And whether you're a member or not a member, I want you to send your photo of it or forward the document or the Word document or email to admin at Private Investment Club right now. I want you to send it to me. And I promise you this, that my team will look at it. I also say this to you with all of my heart, that not everybody's list I'm going to be able to, work on, but I will select few people and I will want to work with some people. And just you sending that list to me as a mentor, whether you are a member or not right now or yet, it's going to double or triple your chances because you shared it with somebody. You shared it. You shared it with someone like myself. And if you do get selected, I promise you this, I will look at your list and I'll say to you, this is how you can do it. That's my promise to you. And my promise to you is that I will bring out solutions to what you want to do. You bring the what, I will bring the how and the access and the connections. I promise you that. And it's coming from high level of love, respect, and something that I want to do for people because I want to empower you. I don't want anybody to say I can't do it. To me, empowerment is really, really important. And I want to empower some of you to become multi-millionaires. I want some of you to become my good friends so we can hang out, whether it doesn't matter what country you live in. When you're coming in, you come and see me. When I come to your country, you get to see me and all that stuff. That is what is plurking is for me as well. Meeting the right friends, making and not that people are bad or or anything like that. It's just that some people you're going to get along more than the others. I want high energy, positive, optimistic, empowered, confident, rich, wealthy people to be my friend. Now, I have people who are not rich. That's okay. But I really want to change their lives. And I want you to want to change people's lives. Like, look yesterday, how many of you actually helped with the eye operations, right? I mean, this is amazing. So together, when you become the center of influence, hopefully you won't forget me because some people have, they became center of influence and then boom, they're gone. They're like, we don't know you, Sunil. We have no idea who you are until you were helping us, but now I'm center of influence. I don't know you. But then there are a lot of people who are center of influences. They're like, we remember where we came from. I remember where I came from. So some of you are going to be my good friends. And so I want to help you with all that kind of stuff. So send your list in and I will help you. Okay. Okay, somebody it just went up and says, what is the list document that needs to be sent? So I just shared with you when we started the presentation this afternoon, I indicated that the most important part about this presentation is for you to build a plurking list. And plurking list is what you would do if you're 8 years old. And if you are 8 years old and and the idea was, what if you wanted to go to Disneyland? And you go, I want to go to Disneyland. Now, when you're 8 years old, are you going to say, well, my father doesn't have the money. I don't know if they can get the time off. I don't know if mother can take time off. Or I don't know if the plane tickets are how much, the hotel prices are this much, blah, 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 right? You just say, I want to go to Disneyland. And then your parents say, when do you want to go to Disneyland? You're like, now. That's what a plurking list is. What do you want? We lose that as we become rich, right? You lose that. So perhaps your plurking list is you want to become famous, you want to become a celebrity, you want to become a center of influence. you want to become a rich author, you want to become a millionaire real estate investor, you want to do what I do, you want to have a business like mine, you want to produce events, you want to plurk like me wherever I go. I'm plurking, meaning I'm making money and traveling. I'm making money, and it's beautiful. I have to tell you, making money while having fun, there's nothing better than that. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. So that's a plurking list. So what I am doing, I'm allowing some of you to, I realize some of you have joined me after. So, and also I talked about how so many people sent us an email saying, hey, the links to win one-on-one mentorship session with you, Sunil, didn't work for me. I wanted to apply for the membership, didn't work for me. So we basically put it again today, and today it seems to be working. So the people who just joined us, team, if you can put those two links again for me, the one-on-one and the membership. And so this list that we're talking about is my gift to you, for you to send this list to me. I will look at it and I will select a few of you and I will go, okay, this is what you want. Here's how you get it. Here's the access, how to make it happen. This is my promise to you. Now, I realize sounds too good to be true, because I never had anybody when I'm talking to my center of influences to say, at the end of that, say, okay, send me anything you want. I'll make it happen for you. Because most of you are members, I want to do this for you. And if you're not a member, then you should apply. There's no questions. You should apply, because if you're here still right now, that means you want to plurk. You want to plurk with me. You want to have access. You want to have access to good deals. You want access to good money. You want to have access to joint venture. You want guidance. You want to be seeing me every once a month in a small groups. Imagine we keep this connection on an ongoing basis and build together and grow you, because that's what happens 10 times a year. For members, I meet them. There's usually 50, 60, 70 people who are just members, and no one else is allowed in that mastermind. And then when the in-person events start, members always come in as my VIPs, meaning their breakfast is paid for, their lunches are paid for, their breaks are paid for. Why is that important? Because I put you into those inner circles and the rooms to actually network. I actually go to somebody and say, hey, Joe, this is John. You two should connect with each other. Joe has got some good properties, and John is very rich and he's got money. Let's connect with each other. So those kind of relationships will occur, and it's very important that you realize that education is the least important part. It's the access, the connections, access to deals, access to money, and relationships to the center of influences. And then eventually becoming a center of influence yourself, if you want to become a center of influence, is the most important part. As far as my talk, as far as today's mastermind, I am finished with. I realized I started 20 minutes because of the issues with. Issues with me. I didn't know how to, there's something happened with Zoom that I couldn't share. So we started 20 minutes late. We're exactly 3 hours now. And if you want, oh yeah, by the way, I think who asked me this, it just went up. Somebody just asked, who should we send the plurking list to? Team, put an email of admin@privateinvestmentclub.com. admin@privateinvestmentclub.com. Send it. By the way, don't say I'll do it someone. Send it right now. And for whatever reason, you still have to look at it. Send it like 5 or 10 minutes after we end this meeting. But send it in, otherwise it won't happen for you. So send a picture of plurk list. We will. Yes. What else? What else is there? Sunil, read my message. Oh. Okay, I didn't read. Send it to me again, please, Belinda, because it just went up. There's so many messages. Or you can. Some of you are sending me private messages. I appreciate you. I am not able to read them all because obviously I'm focusing on so many other things. What else is there? Good. All right. If you guys want me to stick around for 10, 15 minutes to 15 minutes, if you want me to answer any questions about money, about raising capital, about how to work with us, how to do certain things. Maybe you're going through some issues and your challenges, and you want me to help you right now. Put it into the, put it in, please. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Amazing. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Jitu. Thank you, RJ. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, you're welcome, Lawrence, Radha, Todd, Francesca, Dennis, Viren, John, Mike Burgess. You're welcome, Mike. Good to have you, friend. Jill, Radha. Radha, how do you want me to help you? Let me know. Shiri, good to have you, my friend. Shiri, Karsai, Leanne. You're welcome, Leanne. Kim, Sally, Stephen, Andrew, Michelle, Lali, Yasmin, Radha, again, Alan, Sanjay, you're welcome, guys. Wow, that's, oh, there's somebody who sent me. John, you're welcome. Who else? What else? Cheryl, Sanjay, Dante, Tamitayo, Hanif, Hollis, Tamitayo again, Shannon, you're welcome, guys. You guys are just awesome. And, oh, more, Nazan, Sean, Belinda, Thomas, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome. This is my version of you guys giving me a standing ovation. And this is really, this is very valuable for me, Ken, and Maziar, thank you. Delhi, Seema, the celebrity guru. Hey, PPP, how are you? Todd again. Kevern, apparently iPhone says thank you. iPhone, you need to know who you are. Nav, you're welcome. Nav, John, yes, you can connect with me, John. Thomas, Carol, thank you, Mr. Celebrity, Dr. PPP. I appreciate your comment. And you guys don't want to go, I know. You just want to stick around. I love it. You guys just want to keep plurking. I know. All right. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, let's see how many people are here now. Wow, still we have everybody here, basically 96 people. So here's what I'm going to do. You guys stuck around till late. I'm going to have my team. Oh, this is, I just had to stand up a bit. I'm going to make it. By the way, welcome to my house. This is my house, and that's my genius chair on the sofa. If you don't know what a genius chair is, you will learn as you get to know me what that is. And let's see if I can give some gifts to everybody. I'm going to lift this up even more so then it's appropriate.
Is there a member website? Are there weekly meetings?
Yes, so Private Investment Club is a elite real estate investment club. It has the annual membership, and we've become elite because we're not just a training company, we're a training and doing company. And the idea here is our goal is to make 100 millionaires. What happens is once you apply, there's a process. After the process, there's an interview with me. And then once that interview occurs, if it's suitable, then then you get to apply and apply for PIC membership. So once you become a PIC member, what happens is there's approximately 10 times a year where I personally will be seeing you with, let's say, usually about 60, 70 people, 80 people show up almost every PIC membership mastermind. And there I talk about, things like what we did today, but even in a different level, where I actually share the real numbers of who's making money, how they're doing it, what's working, what's not working, and all that stuff. So you have me doing that. I'm still doing that. In the future, I will have my trainers, and some of you could be my trainers as you become successful, that you will be training for me. So right now I'm training because I love it. I just enjoy it a lot. I do that. Then as a member, you also get a couple of one-on-one mentoring sessions with me personally. I'm here, Sunil. I want to get here. How do I do this? And a lot of people have said to me, one session has changed their complete lifestyle, their business. And as long as you do it. So those are included as well. And then the stuff that I took from Robert Allen, my books, and some of the video, all of that, it's the educational material that's included as well. But you should not do it for education only. You should do it because you want to have access. Because I personally do business with my members. Do we have Kayla? If we have Kayla, if we can just if you can just bring on Mohammed. If you can bring that, I'll just give you an example of that. So, hey, hi. She doesn't know that I was going to call her. You're muted still. You're muted. It still shows you're muted.
My computer, my laptop.
All right.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I should have told you, but I just thought about you as the question came in. I just came. So you became a member in March, right? Or what month?
Yes, March, and then in April I made my first sale.
Yes, and did you buy a property using like my information package and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, I did the whole pro forma, I did the inspection, and everything like that.
Okay, great. Had you ever bought no money down before?
No.
Okay, good. And so you bought a property, and where did you get 100% of the money?
You and actually worked with your wife.
Yeah. Well, we're saying she's sitting right across from me. That's our money. And so here's a very, very simple idea. She finds the deal. She didn't have to qualify for the mortgage. She got 100% funding, including the repairs. And she's making positive cash flow, right?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds
And
good.
my tenants are happy. The house turned out amazing. I do the contracting myself, and I had a little bit of help.
Yes.
Upgraded the electrical, and
Yes.
the house is beautiful. And
we're-
Newfoundland, it is beautiful over here. So they have an amazing view and everything. The property
Good.
that I got.
Good. And I know you're looking at other homes for us to work on, right?
Yes, I am. It's a little bit more challenging. My advice would be make sure there's no tenants inside because it gets a little bit more complicated. If you want to raise rent and
Yeah, you froze. So that's one thing in Newfoundland. Once in a while, there's
with their lease.
You froze. All right. So when she comes, okay. Okay, no problem. Just to let you know, you froze. But what she's saying is better to get an empty house than already tenanted places. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate
No
you.
problem.
If you want to share your information, please go ahead in the chat box. And we look forward to doing more business with you. So that was an example. It's just an example. And we have, I think Tammy Tai was here, who you ended up buying 4 properties. Tiger's not here today, but he ended up buying 2 or 3 properties. We got people bought and made $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in during this COVID times alone when they became members. We had a couple who joined us, and since November they ended up making $1.2 million. There's a video on YouTube about them as well. So this is real. This is like, it's not, and they're not extraordinary people, and no offense to it, because I'm not. So anybody can do it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So here's what I want to do before you go. Sorry, I was finishing up with the membership. So membership is the ongoing training, me involved personally. There's a couple of one-on-one sessions with me personally, and then 10 times a year. And as some of you know, that instead of 1 year, we're giving 2 years of membership this time around because of mainly COVID. So you become a member for 2 years for the price of one. And most important part, access. Most important part, I'm not a speaker or a trainer only. I'm a speaker, trainer, and an investor. I want to invest. You know what my end goal is? My end goal is to be anywhere in the world with so much money where I have members who say, Sunil, I'm buying properties in this city. I'm buying properties in that city. And they know exactly how to send me the information packet by internet. I could be on the beach. I could be wherever. And I send a button, I push a button to my lawyer, and we see it's a good deal. Money goes and you close, and I make money while I'm sleeping. And you make money by doing some work. And if the property is a cash flow and it's got a property manager, then it's passive income for you and for me. But to me, that is how I see my life, which is, I don't want to be like my father, where every day you go to work, go to factory, and if you hit the hammer several times, you get paid, and the day you can't, they kick you out. You're done. You're finished. And if you're doing work right now, that's okay. Maybe you want to do full-time and part-time business. That's fine too. But for me, I want to be able to help you grow, and I want to be eventually 90% passive. You know, I want to have friends who are wealthy and rich, and that's how I'm going to do it. So membership is all about, let's do business together. Business together. That's how you do it. That's how we do it. Let's do business together. So if you haven't applied right now, please go ahead. And if you haven't applied to win it, this is the last chance for you. Team can put it in, and I'm going to give some gifts right now. Excuse me. So if you are a member and you don't have how to attain money and time freedom, yesterday, if you donated $47, then you got this in a digital format. If, I'm going to repeat this, if you got any prizes and you want them in physical format, and either you pick them up from our office if you're in the area, or if we send it, we're just going to charge you whatever it costs. We're not going to charge you for handling, or whatever it costs to send it to you, we'll send it to you. But you already have the digital version of this. You also have a digital version of Brian Tracy's book, and my book is called Secret to Success Volume 2, audiobook. When you donate $47, you got them yesterday automatically. Okay, so you got them. If you want the physical copy, you'd send an email to admin@privateinvestmentclub.com, and then we'll mail it out to you. You'll pay for the shipping. So I want to tell you this, but here's the thing. I have rituals in the morning. It will change your life. It will change your life. And this ritual is fill in the blank mastermind workbook. Just fill in the blank every day. You get up, you do that. Just follow through. It will change your life. Get this if you don't have it. It is, if you're a member, just ask for it. We'll give it to you. If you're not a member, become a member. If you're not going to become a member, just pay for the shipping. And if you donate it, you get that. If not, just buy it. Like if you don't want to donate, then buy it. It's a $97. We're including this when you donate it. That's why I did that for you. So if somebody who is not able to afford it, and here, it just shows me something else. If somebody can't afford it and they did not donate it, let's say, and you want me to give this to you, just let me know. I'll give it to you. I'll gift you this. Okay, send an email to admin@Private Investment Club. I'll gift it to you, no problem. And I'm going to share with you something that is amazing book. And this book is called Over the Top, It's by the guy named, by the author named Zig Ziglar. One of my if you want to learn how to sell, how to market, one of the best books. And what happened was when Zig Ziglar wrote this book many years ago, he went back to his book and he highlighted, he reread it, he made some notes on each, he folded some of the papers, and when he died, they found this book when he went through it. And so they basically reproduced this book with each mark that he made on the page, each folding, see, folded paper, they duplicated and printed the exact copy of his, where he folded, he made some notes, and very, 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 very limited edition. Okay. So I want to gift this to somebody, especially if you're in business, especially if you are, you want to be an author, you want to be a speaker, you want to be in business. This is very, very valuable. Who would like it? Let me see if anybody would like it. Okay. Let me see what you're willing to do to get this. Let me see what kind of attention grabbing you're going to have. You can just sit there, or you can just do some dancing. Well, who's sending me the hearts? Let me see. Shannon? All right, Shannon. She threw the heart. Look at that. She's like jumping up and down. I was like, let me just see if I can do something with Shannon. Do that again, what you were doing, Shannon. And you were dancing all over the place. All right. All right. Here, Shannon, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you this. I'm going to keep it. It's your job, if you want something, to send an email to admin@privateinvestmentclub.com. And then you know that whatever it costs the shipping, I'll give you the book for free, but you'll pay for that. Okay. If you do not have this 24 karat gold note, okay, if you don't have it, or $1 million, you should have it. I carry it right now in my pocket. I do this right now. Let me go back to my gallery view so I can now see who would love to have this. Now, some of you already have it. Todd is dancing. I see that. Kevin is dancing. Leanne is dancing. Leanne doesn't have it. Veronica is dancing. Sally is dancing. I see that. Paulus is dancing. Alan is dancing. Let's see who else. Karsai is dancing. I love it. Who else is moving? Dace is moving. Dace is dancing. Who else is doing it? Karsai, yes, you're back. Let's see. And some of you are off camera. I don't know why you would be off camera. I cannot give you anything if you're not on camera, guys. All right, so here's what we're going to do. It's a lot of people. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give 4 of these because you're just too many beautiful, wonderful people. So let's continue. Let me see how you're going to grab my attention. Let's see. All right. Navneesh and Prabjot, congratulations. You get one of these. So congratulations. Let's see, who else should I give it to? Alan L. You got it. So you're one of these ones, okay? Let's see. Oh, are you giving me kisses, rather? Are you giving flying kisses? Oh my God. Okay, you have it. You got it. Let's see, who else? Hello, Dace. Okay, I'll give you one. Hey, Sunil. Oh, another more kisses. All right. I love it. Who said hey, Sunil?
Me.
Michelle?
Yes.
All right, Michelle, you won. There
Yay.
You go. So we got 4 people. Get that.
I've been dancing since yesterday, and for some reason you're not seeing me.
Okay, then is this Michelle?
Cheryl.
Who?
Cheryl.
Let me see. Where's Cheryl?
Cheryl.
Okay, let me find you, Cheryl, because it keeps moving back. Just go like this, Cheryl. Let me see.
I've been doing that yesterday, all day.
Okay. Well, Cheryl, here's the thing. You have gotten my attention, and I'm going to gift you something that is So here's my executive notebook, or I'll give you another option. I have Eat That Frog with Brian Tracy, the book.
Okay.
Or I have this, The Success Principle with Jack Canfield, or the Gold Note. What would you like?
I would like the $1 million.
Your $1 million gold note, or Jack, one of the two? All right, you got it. You got it. You got it. You're welcome. Some of the books that I'm reading, Napoleon Hill's Greatest Speeches. Am I speaker mode, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you see me on speaker mode or not?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can see you.
Okay, Napoleon Hill, Greatest Speeches. Anybody, if you guys want it, just tell me. And rest of you, just go, if you think you're going to be a speaker.
I love that.
Yeah, good. Good. John Maxwell, How Successful People Think. Okay, it's a beautiful, small, easy book. By the way, anybody can win it. Just let me know. Power of Positive Thinking. Most of you probably have heard it or read it. Norman Winston Peale. Guys, it's gold.
Fabulous.
Robin Sharma, 5 a.m. Club, gold. It's by the way, my original idea came from Robin Sharma when I attended his event, and then later on I shared stages with him, and the 5 a.m. Club idea came from him, and I then added my version of the 5 a.m. Club, and then created this very popular How to Attain Money and Time Freedom workbook. And so it's different, but it's very good. You should get it. Let me give you one more really, really good one. Zig Ziglar. It's called Secret to Closing the Sale. Secret to Closing the Sale. Quite thick, hardcover. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. You should have this book. You should have this book. Okay, let's see what else is that. I'm sure you've heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. If you read it like a year ago, read it again. If you don't have it, you can have it as well. All right, let me finish it off. Okay, there's a Deepak Chopra's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It's a very tiny book. Very nice, very well done book. You guys can have everything that I said. If you haven't gotten this Secret to Wealth Volume 3, get it. It's a brand new book. It's only available on Kindle right now, and the physical copy is coming right now. Team, if you can do this for me, if you can go to Amazon and find this book and get the link, and put it in the chat box for me. Maybe Sangeeta can do that. And so if you guys can help me even, so it stayed at the #1 seller for many, many weeks for us. And now this physical copy should be coming in a week or 10 days from now. And you're going to get the actual hardcover copy, not just the soft cover. You're going to get the hardcover copy. So I think $30 or something like that. So if you, Sangeeta is going to put the link in. If you didn't buy this book, that talks about how to become a real estate millionaire. If you didn't buy this book, the Kindle version is $9.99 in Canada, and it's like 7 something in US. Buy it now, and I will give you the autographed hardcover copy. So you will get the Kindle version. You will also get the hardcover copy of the book, and we're going to do a draw where somebody's going to win $500 cash and $500 gift certificates as well for support. It's more of, when a lot of people buy the book on Kindle and Amazon, the Amazon then helps us say, hey, a lot of people are buying it, so we should spread the word if so many people buy it. So that's basically what you can do to support if you're thinking what to do. You're welcome, Ken.
Yeah, Divine, can you?
Sangeeta is talking. Go ahead, Sangeeta.
It's okay.
Oh, by the way, Sangeeta is in the back end, and she's shy. She doesn't like to be in the limelight, but I do bring her up on the stages as many times as I can, and all that kind of stuff. Sangeeta, come around, just say hello, just like one more time, because you did that yesterday.
I'm right here.
Okay, but now come around.
Hello, everybody.
All right. Say hello to Sangeeta. And Sangeeta and I are going to be in India in about 6 weeks or so. We're going to be celebrating our 29th marriage anniversary as well. And we're going to be doing some plurking. Yes, thank you. You want to say something?
Hello, Sangeeta.
Who said hello?
Hello.
Hi.
By the way, if you're saying hello, just say this is your name and say hello. Then.
Hi, Sangeeta. Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm great. And you?
Very good. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us Saturday and Sunday. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sangeeta, why don't you tell them about your morning rituals?
No.
Can I tell something?
Yes. Who's this?
That Days?
Hi, Days. Yes.
Yes. I just wanted to tell to Sunita, behind every successful man stands a very smart woman. So she is the one.
Yes. May I add something to that? May I make it even better?
Yes.
Beside every successful man, there is a successful, powerful woman, not behind.
This is what I meant.
Yeah. But now she's beside me.
Ah.
She's like with me. She's not behind me.
She is your neck and she knows the way where to turn.
I am so happy to let you know. Hey, wherever I share my morning rituals, people are very in big awe. But for some reason, whenever we share Sangeeta's morning rituals, all women love it. And if you want me to share that today, she's like, no.
Yes.
If you want me to share it, put it in the chat box if you do, and then maybe she'll be convinced. Put it in the chat box.
Please.
Everybody's sharing the chat box. Say yes, yes, yes.
Yes, please.
Oh, man. Okay, so we're going to do that right now. I'm going to tell you. If Sangeeta wants to do it, she can do it. If not, I will do it. I think they're family. And that's why we call them the big family. And I will share it. If you want to share it, you go ahead.
It's okay. Go ahead.
You want me to share it? So Sangeeta says, yes, I can do it. I think she's pressured into saying yes. But as long as she said yes, that's good enough. So I'm going to I'm going to go into the gallery mode. I can get to see everybody. And I'm going to look at the women, because I can tell you. So here's how, for the last several years, I realized that, to keep, I kept telling her, look, I wake up at 4. I used to wake up at 5. Now for the last 2 or 3 years, it's 4 a.m. club. And so I get up in the morning, I come down, I sit in my genius chair, I do my notes, I write my gratitude, I write my goal every day, which is a full-page goal. I write what I'm going to do, how am I going to plurk today? I write it every day. And I write down my affirmations every day. So those things I do every day. And then after that, I read something, a book, a course for about half an hour. After that, I go for a walk. And after that, I come home. And every second day, I work out for like 20 minutes, half an hour. It's a light workout to maintain where we are at. And then after that, when I asked her to get up at 5 a.m., she doesn't believe in 5 a.m. club, right? She believes in whatever time I want to get up club. So I see all you women laughing. I see you. So
Hang on. Oops.
do you want to do this?
No. I just want to say something.
Say it.
Okay, so I woke up all the time for kids when kids were small. So now I get to sleep in.
Yeah.
You're so right.
That's exactly what I thought.
Absolutely.
But let me share with you what happens, how she gets up though. Okay, you want to share with them? She said no, but we will now. And the reason I share this with you is that perhaps this will inspire you to plurk and live your life, right? Live your life. And it's also a good lesson for husbands. So around 7-ish, 7:30 is what I have to do to Sangeeta does not like alarm clocks. So she does not want to wake up or put up any alarm clocks. I am the alarm clock for her. So how am I her alarm clock? She has a habit that she wants to have a tea in the morning, but she wants to have a particular style Indian tea. And in this Indian tea, I don't put tea bag only. So there's tea bags. There is, what else is there, Sangeeta? How do you call it?
Cardamom?
Cardamom. Ginger. One more.
The
Salt.
I don't know.
Fennel seeds. And then I actually cannot just put it in like this. I have to do this. I'm going to share with you.
Oh my goodness.
So
you crush it into the tea.
You use a mortar and pestle? Oh, yeah.
This is real. Like this is 2021, and I'm still crushing it for her, and then putting into the tea. And then I have to boil it for a certain time, and then I have to put a certain amount of milk, and then let it boil for a while. Then put very little sugar, and now she has this tea that I make, and I walk up to the stairs. I walk up the stairs. I wake up, and I bring the tea and the cell phone to her. And at this time, majority of times, she would just turn around usually and she'll sleep on her tummy. Okay. What does that mean? It means she needs to be massaged every day before she wakes up.
Happy wife, happy life.
and so she basically goes there and I just press her back. And there's something about women and their feet. They're like, crazy amount of pleasure there or something like that. And this is how she wakes up every day, 90% of the time, with doing that. And I want to, I know that, but you know what?
Women are jealous right now, Sunil. A lot of women are jealous.
I thought I was spoiled.
Every day. And every day. And I started that because I thought it was for her. But now I kind of, if I don't do it, I kind of miss that, which is crazy. Like, what the hell? And the other thing is you do it with the expectation of nothing. Okay? You do it for nothing. You just go, you wake, and then she sits there for 45 minutes to an hour drinking her tea and on her phone. And don't bug her. Don't talk to her at that time, man. It's like, whoa, like, just, and then she wakes up, she's in good mood. The whole day is a lot better. It works. It works. I shared this, I don't think we have shared, maybe once or twice in big stages I've shared this, but not to this level. And so I want to share this with you. For the men, first of all, guys, find something that she likes. Now, if I go away for a day or two, it's like, what? Where are you going? How am I going to get up in the morning? And so I call myself a tea chef. I'm a chef, but I can only make tea. Because this is a work of art, I can tell you, step by step. So anyways, so good to have you all. I want to see, I truly treat you guys like my family, and you guys are all over the world. One thing, that beautiful thing that happened with COVID is that people all over the world have become part of our family. And I'm so happy to have you. Not only this, but the people who are members who can't make it here today, they're going to watch this later on. You're going to watch this again. And my whole purpose of this is only one purpose, is to inspire you to do your dreams, not just dream your dreams, do your dreams and give and help and take care of each other. And I want to see one day we're all going to meet in person. We're going to have lots of fun, and I want to see that. Thank you for all these beautiful comments. I appreciate.
Is driving, I think so.
Who?
Navneesh.
Navneesh is driving. Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. I truly appreciate you. I know you're looking for words of inspiration, and for me, it's today. It's Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. Today's Sunday. We're wealthy. We're doing good. Abundance. We're surrounded by abundance. I'm here past the time that I said I'm going to be here, which is almost an extra hour. It's because I'm plurking. And I have to say to you, there's nothing on the planet, I cannot think of anything where you are plurking, you have the relationships, you have the money, you get to live the way you want, like 99% of the time. And you get to help others do the same thing. It is such a blessing, such a beautiful thing. And I want to look for friends who want to be with me in this journey. So not only do they want to be part of my multi-million-dollar list, and then beyond that, we're going to, when I get that, I'm going to move on to next. But I'm looking for friends and partners who will then help spread this movement on the planet of financial freedom, a real financial freedom, where money is not an object for you, where you forget, hey, is today the payday? Where you don't even know. Like a lot of times, I don't even know it's Monday. Sometimes I have to be reminded what day is today. Even weekends, I forget. Because to me, Monday or Saturday has very little difference. Because I can take Monday off or I can take Saturday off. So very little difference. The day that you start to do that, it's just different life on this planet. Planet feels so beautiful. Things feel so beautiful. Relationships feel so beautiful. And I want you to get to the point where you go, I'm going to go to the restaurant and I'm not going to look to the right side. I don't care how much the money, I don't care how much that steak costs or how much that Indian food costs or whatever it is. I want to eat that. So, Karsai, good to see you from Australia. I'm happy to have you. You guys are awesome. And God bless you all. Make sure you send me your plurking list. I want to change your life. I want to work with you. I want to help you. And I want to learn from you. I want to be with you. And to me, growing up, I was not very popular. Didn't have a lot of friends and all that kind of stuff. And today I have a lot of friends, but I want good friends. I want real deep relationships. I want successful, happy people. Today is, like I said, is Sunday. It's almost 5 o'clock Toronto time. We started at 1 o'clock. We're doing it. Sangeeta is here. We're doing it because it's our fun. It's plurking. We want to do this from heart. We want to do this. We want to change people's lives. We have a system. We have connections. We have access. And now we want to change and bring in so many people, bring success to a lot of people. God bless you. Take good care and all the best. I look forward to seeing you guys very shortly. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. I want to thanks to Divine. Thanks for Harpreet. Thanks for Mohammed. Thank you for Sangeeta. Thank you for my members and mentees and the attendees and the VIPs and everybody who's here. I love you all. Take care. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.